Hello, Noah here, and welcome to the outro message for Conflict of Interest finale. So, it's a bit bittersweet, it's a bit exciting, but here we are. This is the final episode of Conflict of Interest. So, I was thinking about putting this at the end of the video, but I honestly think it might be more fitting to put it at the beginning of the video. So, I just want to say thank you everybody for watching all of the videos, whether you've liked, whether you've made a comment, whether even if you've just watched the video. I really appreciate everything. This is probably my first flagship series. Contempt of Court was kind of a flagship series for me, but like throughout this entire run of this series, like each video has been getting on average 100 to 300 views every single episode. And usually how it goes is like at the start, there will be a bunch of people, and then as the series goes on, those viewers kind of trickle out, and only a few stay towards the end. But it feels like every single person who's been watching the series has stuck through to the very end, and I just appreciate all of you. It really means a lot to me. Yeah. A lot of opinions of mine have changed regarding this game. I won't get into spoilers. Maybe I should make this an ending message, but me and Net will make a whole video essay about this, so I guess I'll just get to it then. But for non-spoiler stuff, I will say that Francisco Mendírez has become one of my favorite characters from the game, and Case 5 has become my favorite case of the game. I know, like I said, that there was no way that Case 4 would ever top it, but I was wrong. Case 5 has a lot of moving parts, and there's a lot of stuff that Rupfa had to make sure that he delivered on and gave a just conclusion to, and he managed to do it. He managed to give a good send-off to every single character in this game. Whether it's Phoenix, whether it's Mark Waters, whether it's Francisco Mendírez, he gave a good send-off to every single character that he set up in this game, and it is just so mind-blowing how good it is. I'm even struggling to speak. I'm stuttering so much because I'm so excited. But yeah, it's just, this game means a lot to me. This experience has meant a lot to me. So I'll give a special thanks to Net for joining me. If you didn't make a comment during one of my Contempt of Court episodes asking to join me for this, then I don't know if you would have been here for this series, and I definitely would have struggled quite a bit through some of those cross-examinations, especially near the end. But you've made this experience so wonderful for me, and your voice acting has really, your voice acting was good at the beginning, but it's really come a long way since the start of the series. Your voice acting for Pearl especially is probably my favorite performance of yours, or Sir Galante. It's honestly just like a fight between those two. But yeah, I feel like I found a friend for life in you, and that really means a lot, because I love making friends, and we just have so much in common, and there's so much that we could talk about when it comes to the Ace Attorney series, and just, yeah, man, I really appreciate you reaching out and asking, hey, why don't I join you for this? I really like this game. How about I be a sort of mentor and help you along as you go through this game? And the rest is history, I guess. But yeah, it's just meant so much to me. And I'm running out of things to say. So without further ado, let's go ahead and begin the final episode of Conflict of Interest. Hello, Noah here, and welcome back to Conflict of Interest. Last time we left off, we had quite possibly the stretchiest cross-examination that I have ever witnessed. Well, that's kind of a lie, because Contempt of Court had quite a few of those. But this one was pretty odd in the stuff that I had to present. But we made it through it, and now this might be the final push to finish this game. So, let's go! What's wrong, Waters? Why'd you need me?
I've got something for you. Here, a present from Gumshoe. They pulled the thing apart and dug up all its files. They recorded the murder. There was a whole conversation and everything.
Oh, you got it. This will definitely be useful. Thank you.
Right. It shows she was killed over Jameson's bottle thing. Check the recording on there and you'll see what I mean.
You don't seem happy about it.
Because right now, boss is spewing a bunch of hooey. Why the heck do you think I pulled you aside by yourself?
What do you mean?
Because that little thing proves our killer was there at Jameson's murder. He was there to get her bottle and she died keeping it hidden.
Williamson is on my side. He said he'd help me. We shouldn't hide this from him.
Dude, you saw him in there, right? Pulling out that crap about different killers, he just made that up. He almost let himself go off the deep end. I mean, if you hadn't been there, I won't let him screw this up for some kind of revenge. You're the one I'm coming to. Do you get it? Boss is wrong. Medeiros didn't do it.
This was all worth it.
It won't be if you let Mr. Williamson get his way. He's gonna chase this guy till the cows come home, and you know it. Help me, will you? Medeiros didn't stab Gladys. Whoever did killed Jameson, and Black too from the sound of it.
Medeiros didn't, then who's left?
Wow, Waters has come a long way. Look how
Damn.
humble he's being.
Yeah. Miss Von Karma and I have been looking over those notes you made.
What did you find?
Not a whole lot. Some of it was pretty vague. We knew most of it already. She's in the other lobby, I think. The whole thing was really last minute.
You can verify everything Trucy heard?
I guess most of it. We do have reason to think Togamera never pulled the trigger on the kid.
Are you sure on that?
Sure? No. Chief said he doesn't remember him entering the records room.
Well, I think we've caught him.
But there's always the chance that he snuck in somehow. Though there were parts in that diary you could never really prove either way. We'd let you know if we found anything really important, you know?
Well, thanks.
Oh yeah, one last thing.
Yes?
You've got one more piece of evidence coming your way. Had it brought in especially for you.
Okay, let's see it.
I'll let her hand it to you yourself. She came all the way here to do it.
She? Oh, hi.
Maya's back.
Yep.
Me.
Maya, you're here.
Oh, did you find it?
Find it? Find what?
I brought a letter somebody sent to me before the reunion. It was about her. I think it was from the Rivales.
About Pearl?
Yes. The writer made threats about me and her. I don't know why, but they really didn't want her returning. That was why Corinne happened. That was why everything happened.
Well, the good news is that I don't believe this was from Medeiros.
You don't?
He was home free after MN6. Why would he care if anybody found Pearl? Remember yesterday when we spoke to him? He couldn't have cared less if we proved he murdered Luciano.
You might not buy it in the trial, but it works for me. Who else would send it?
That's the question we ought to be asking. Who? And why? So, how are you dealing with what happened?
It's too early to tell. I didn't want to come back. I wish I could just close my eyes and make it all go away. But that wouldn't change anything. It would just make it worse. She's in danger. She still is. Maybe now more than ever. Trucy thinks we can find whoever sent me that letter. Well, it's a long shot.
Maybe not. Nothing will happen to Pearl. Nothing. And Maya, for what it's worth, I'm sorry. I did what I thought was right. I'd do it again if I had to. But that doesn't make it hurt any less. I know I can never take away that pain. But I didn't have a choice. It was either that or... Who am I kidding? I wish I could go back and erase everything.
Mick, I don't blame you. And I know that she doesn't either.
Aww. That's really nice
Beautiful.
art.
It sure is. None of us do. We understand what you're going through. We're all sad, and we need to be there for each other. We'll work through it. I'm having trouble coming to terms myself, but there is nothing to be sorry for. Things might not ever be the same, but we'll figure it out and grow from it, become better people. And we'll find a way to cope. Together.
What about Pearl?
I don't know. I don't know if she ever wants to speak to us ever again. But even if we never do, I know I still love her, and I'll do anything to protect her. And I know you would too. Let's solve this case, the three of us.
Thank you, you two. I'll make things right.
No, we'll make things right.
We got the triple
Oh.
threat again.
Okay,
The last time this happened was the first case.
That's right. We've come full circle. We're starting and ending this case the same way. However, there was a scene that was cut from the original version of this game. Something happened in between this heartwarming bonding moment and the start of the trial. And do you want to know what that thing was?
What was it?
It was a final farewell and a final conversation from Finnegan Hood.
Oh. Maybe Rupp moved that scene? Moved it somewhere else?
We can just soldier on, and maybe we can talk about it later. But I am sad because it was a bit of, you finally get to see a more genuine, more emotional side of him. Well, emotional by his standards.
Yeah. Well, let's just continue on and we'll think about that later. He might have moved the scene
All
somewhere
right.
else.
All right.
Is the defense ready? We are, Your Honor. What was it the detective wanted to tell you? He gave me a note that was sent to my FA. We think it might be from the Revales family. Strange. Was that it? All in due time, Your Honor.
You aren't gonna tell them about the bug?
Oh shit, hold on. Let me look at that actually.
Huh? How the heck did you get in here?
Were you eating? Sorry.
No, it's okay. Stay back! See this, you creep? I'm not afraid to use it!
Give me the bottle.
What bottle? What bottle, you jerk?
I won't ask again.
And if I do give it to you, I'm sure you're just gonna let me walk away?
No, you have a good point. You have no incentive to give it up. But I'm on a tight schedule, you see, and not above prying it from your cold, dead hands.
Help! Somebody help!
Damn. Well, that's not great.
Nope.
See her, she's alive. You want her back, but she can never return. Stop trying to find her, cooperate, and nothing will go wrong. Don't, well, then I couldn't promise Miss Pearl's safety. You are the master. Not yet. Waters called me aside because he was nervous. Nervous about Williamson. I think this bug might be coming in hardy sooner rather than later. Handy sooner. He gave you nothing else? If he did, then we should see it. Prosecutor, do you trust me? Yes, I suppose that I do. Then just go with me on this. Your reasoning isn't incorrect, just incomplete. Let me show you why you are wrong. Please do. Okay. Did we even get to cross-examine him last time?
What happened was that he gave his argument, and then before we could cross-examine it, Waters interrupted and said, "I need to pull you aside and give you evidence."
Oh, okay, so we didn't press anything. A henchman?
Right.
Why not? He is the Don. He shouldn't have to get his hands dirty. It would make much more sense to have an expendable lackey do the job. That way it would be harder to connect back to him.
If it was true, it would answer a lot of questions.
It shows how Mendes is connected to all 3 crimes without being the culprit in all of them. Allow me to explain his role in each.
There's no way to prove that.
I disagree. Under the circumstances, there is no way the suspect would not be aware of the murder. Yet he chose not to report anything for over a month. Given that and his connections to the Rivales victims, the conclusion is obvious.
You're basing it all on supposition. There's no hard proof.
Mendes is a murderer. He's already escaped justice once. I will not allow it again.
You're letting your anger get the better of you. I understand why, but I won't let it stop me.
How can you see Mendes as anything but guilty? It's folly. The man murdered 4 people. It should be clear as day.
You may be a crime lord, but we still deserve the truth. If you want to prove me wrong,
you'll have to work for it.
The same hitman who killed Mr. Black?
Jane Hood's testimony proves such.
Well, who was it?
I am not sure, however, it is the only explanation.
No, it isn't. You're just too blinded by your hatred to see any otherwise.
Then give me another idea. We already know he killed Mr. Jameson.
No, we don't know that either.
There are no other suspects. There simply is no way it wasn't him.
I need an alternate theory, or at least one to make him change his mind. What might show Mendes didn't plan this? Okay, thanks for the hint, Phoenix. That's the only one you think he's guilty for?
Make no mistake, I still consider him guilty for all of them. Mr. Jameson was the only one he personally killed. However, he had some involvement with Mr. Black and Miss Porter as well. And if not, if he only is responsible for Mr. Jameson, then he still goes to prison for a very long time. I hope I don't have to remind you of his prints on the shovel.
I remember.
Good, then let's not argue over that which we should both agree. The defendant is a killer, plain and simple. His verdict must reflect that.
You still think they have to be linked even with multiple killers?
It would be too much of a coincidence if not. The same murder weapon was used along with the same burial site. And furthermore, it was the suspect's shovel that was used. Regardless of who killed whom, the same conclusion is clear. There's no way you will make me believe these murders were not planned by the same people.
Just yesterday, the prosecution was saying it was all the same person.
We will adapt our theories to the changing circumstances, as you must as well. The last witness showed we had multiple killers. That must leave the defendant as the mastermind to all of them.
Would he still be charged for the murders?
Mr. Jameson, certainly. For Mr. Black and Miss Porter, the charge would be changed. He is an accomplice and accessory for each. No matter what, he is going away forever.
What about the capital sentence? Is that being dropped?
Not if I have anything to say about it.
You realize you have no physical evidence proving this henchman theory?
Yes, you are right. But as it stands, it is the most logical assumption. The 3 cases must be tied together. This is how we will do so.
You and me, Williamson. One of us is making a big mistake here. But I won't let my past get the better of me like I did before. I'm not your pawn anymore. It's just you, me, and the evidence. We'll see who the truth really lies with. Okay. What proves that Mendes couldn't have planned all of this?
Whoa, what? I didn't see this before. Maya started getting anonymous threats recently. Maya's interview would have revealed her letters and threats. Her grandma and Miss Porter knew. Donatello was ordered to portray Maya's grandma. Okay. I don't think that's relevant right now, though. Well, I'm gonna assume it has to be one of the new pieces of evidence we got, but I could be wrong about that. The killer whom Miss Hood met was one of Mandira's henchmen. Mr. Black was killed as a hit job on orders from his boss. Miss Porter was likewise assassinated in order to keep her silent. That's true. Only Stephen Jameson was murdered.
And why is it true?
Because in the call, the guy asked for the bottle, so she was killed so that she wouldn't talk about the bottle.
Or was it that he wanted to get the bottle back?
Well, to be honest, I think he would have killed her either way. To keep her silent about it. But
all right.
But I could try presenting that bug there.
There you have it.
Close, but no cigar. Miss Porter was killed for a bottle that she was hiding in her office. The M6 vial. How would you know that? She was keeping it in her office. We had to find it ourselves. And Detective Waters just showed up with a recording proving the killer was after it. Huh? A recording of a murder? Well, we'll have to listen to that at once. Please play it for the court. And we already read through it, so we can just play it. Like, see this? I'm pretty sure she would have been killed either way.
Yeah, I guess the point is we're trying to we're disagreeing with Williamson saying that it was about keeping her silent. It wasn't whether she talked or not. She was targeted.
Yes, that was certainly the victim's voice, but who is that other? Somebody after the bottle. They thought she might have it after her affiliation with Mr. Jameson was revealed. And that is why she died. Objection. This appears to prove my earlier theory. The suspect was found with a photo of the same bottle. Therefore, we know the reason he had his hitman kill her. Objection. Jimmy and Porter were both killed for the bottle, but not like that. How so? Medeiros has been in jail for the past several days. The only contact he would have had with the outside world would have been through a visitor. That's the only way he could have communicated his orders to kill Miss Porter. How should that matter? Medeiros wouldn't give orders in person. Yeah. Where does it say that? Yeah, right there.
Way to go, Trucy.
We've recently heard from several of Medeiros' soldiers or allies. Raphael Donatello, Meredith Fay, Agent Togamera, they all said the same thing. Medeiros doesn't talk business in person. He wouldn't have had a choice being in detention. What other option was there? Even I wasn't able to see him until the day of the trial. Security around this guy is tighter than ever. They wouldn't let some random mobster in. How did your secret henchman know about the bottle, prosecutor? Medeiros only saw the photo recently, the night he was arrested. How did he know Miss Porter might have it? How would he know any of this if he hadn't been in contact with Medeiros? He would have needed to have been at the Rosencrantz murder. That's right. This third party eavesdropped on Medeiros and Jimmy while they talked about the vial. And then after Miss Porter chased off the only other witness, the true killer stepped in and beat him to death with the shovel. That would mean that the same person really did kill all three people. If Medeiros couldn't coordinate Miss Porter's murder with anyone, and the only way to know about the M6 vial was to hear it from Mr. Jameson. Who was it? We can't let him get away.
It was James the Killer, your secret henchman. He killed Jimmy after Mandira's ran away. Then he hunted down Miss Porter in her office.
I believe you.
He's come back to the light.
I don't want to admit I've been chasing the wrong man, but what you say makes sense. Too much sense. And I may have let Mr. Jameson's killer get away.
This is so hard for him.
Yeah.
Jimmy's killer isn't going to escape. He wanted us to have a chance. That's why he did what he did. Finding the true villain meant enough for him that he would sacrifice his own life. He knew that people were going to continue to die. Maybe even you.
What?
They threatened my life and yours after Miss Porter was found. The photos with the red X's? There were 2, just for us. Jimmy knew things would go that route eventually.
A true friend to the last. What should we do?
We have to make the most of the chance he's given us.
But we have no suspects. We couldn't possibly arrest anyone for it.
We'll find him. You and me, Williamson. We'll work together, as defense and prosecution were meant to. And we'll find our killer.
Do you still believe he was after the vial from MN6?
Of course I do.
Then we must figure out its relation to the case. Is your client willing to testify?
We can ask him. Hey, man. How's it going? Mr. Mandira, do you understand the importance of MN6 to this current case?
Of course.
You told me you're innocent. If that's true, I need you to help me. We've reached the end of the road. It's all or nothing now. If you can't help us...
You'll go to jail for 3 murders you didn't commit.
Like, if there was ever a time to not be stubborn, it's now. Don't be stubborn this time.
Yep. You're crazy, you know that?
I just said to not be stubborn, man. Come on.
But it might be the right kind of crazy for the job.
Okay, I retract my earlier statement.
Which one then? Which murder should I tell you all about?
Jimmy's. Mr. Jameson.
Fine then.
Bottle of poison.
Jameson called me up. Oh, yes?
I was just surprised by the music.
Aha, yeah, it's the same music that played when he gave his testimony during MN6.
Yes.
Jameson called me up, said he wanted to talk. We arranged to meet in the woods where nobody would bother us. When I came, he showed me that photo of the bottle, the one from Luciano's case. He had the real one somewhere, but wouldn't say where. Porter showed up, chased me off. The rest is history.
Okay.
That's not much.
It's kind of vague, but... Well, we can work with it. We've had worse testimonies. Like the one from before the recess with Stitch. That was a pretty bad one. What did the photo mean to you?
What do you mean, what did it mean? It meant Jameson had the bottle.
The case was closed, but him having it... whoa. The case was closed, but him having it was a threat.
Not to me. They found me not guilty, remember?
Maybe not to you, but somebody killed him and Miss Porter for it.
Why would anybody but him want them dead?
Give me a break, Williamson. Jameson and Porter were messing around with the Mafia. Porter's sister was shot for that very thing. They knew what they were getting into. But I didn't have anything to do with it, got it?
Then why try to silence anybody?
Silence anybody? What the heck are you talking about?
You ordered the hit on Maya. You were going to kill Pearl. I'm not letting any of that go.
I didn't do anything like that.
Liar! Your own henchman ratted you out.
You think I don't know that?
It seems a ridiculous thing to lie about, considering. Why make it up?
Unless I'm not lying.
I
still can't bring myself to trust this guy. How am I supposed to take his word for that? Of course he'd lie. So will I find something to show he's full of it? Or end up proving that he's telling the truth?
Phoenix, you gotta remember, none of his mob lawyers would take his case. That's gotta be suspicious, isn't it? How are my lines as Menderes?
They're good, but like your voice was just jittery, I guess.
Damn it.
It was just kind of like, no, it's not your fault. It's Discord's fault, as usual.
Mm-hmm.
Did you remember him from the MN6 trial?
Of course I did. The man didn't know how to let it go. I would never go to prison for Luciano anyhow, so it didn't matter to me.
Would it bother anyone else if you were caught talking to him?
It might. Nobody in the family liked Jameson. Nobody likes their business getting pried into. And we have plenty of skeletons to dig up, believe me.
Oh, I believe you on that. But do I believe the rest of it? That's the question. Why would you agree to meet him?
I thought we could work something out. Maybe even get him on my side.
Would that ever be possible?
Chances didn't look good, but I knew we'd both benefit more by working together.
Mr. Jameson would never work with you.
Looks like I knew him better than you.
Damn! That's ruthless.
He was the one who brought up the idea of a negotiation.
You're lying!
Don't let him get to you. I might believe him on this one.
You trust him?
Why else would Jimmy want to meet with him? Was it just to show off that bottle, just to tease or threaten him? He had to have some clear goal of being there. Making a deal sounds like it would work.
But what kind of deal?
Let me get around to it. It was about that bottle. Somebody didn't want that bottle to go public. Somebody didn't want Pearl to return to the public eye. And somebody wants Menderes to take the fall.
Yeah. Why did he let you know he had it? Was it blackmail? Anything like that?
Blackmail? It was just the opposite. He said he was gonna help me and that bottle was the key to it.
Enough! Mr. Jameson would never side with you. He was an honest man and this court will not buy your lies.
You're one to talk about lies, Williamson. Leading everyone around by the nose. It's a wonder anyone still takes you seriously.
Damn.
Right! Mr. Jameson trusted you. Do not believe a word coming from the suspect's mouth.
Jimmy trusted you too, prosecutor. Why don't we let the evidence decide, rather than holding the trial based on a grudge? That's what Jimmy would have wanted.
You're right, he would have. But I don't believe for 1 second he would have worked with that man.
Is Menderes making this all up? If he is, I can expose that lie. But if he isn't... The real one was back in Miss Porter's office.
Right, I guess. But there was no way of me knowing that then. Jameson wasn't stupid. He wasn't gonna give up the location just like that.
Did he tell you he would if you cooperated?
Me? Why would he do that? He didn't need the bottle. He could keep it. Maybe better that way. No, I was going to help him no matter what.
Why on earth would you help him?
I've been having troubles of my own. The family isn't responding as well as I'd like. I thought Jameson might be the answer to my prayers. I was just as surprised as anyone. Too bad for the both of us that all got interrupted.
Why did you run?
I heard her scream and made a break for it. I thought they might be out for me. Can you really blame me?
Who did you think was out for you?
Anyone, alright? Look, I've made enemies on my way to the top. A lot of enemies. There are people who hate me that I'd rather not meet at night in the woods. And heck, that Jameson might have been with them.
The Ravalis family? Are you that afraid of your own group?
Yes! Hear, hear. Maya has plenty of reason to be afraid of her own family.
Something you can relate with? Is that all?
Yes, why?
I'm not entirely convinced, that's all.
Me either. You are leaving too much out.
What's it gonna take? You two have had it out for me since the beginning!
I'm keeping an open mind, but you have to help me. There are still holes everywhere. Too much is unexplained. Why would he need to meet you? How are you going to help? Or, for that matter, how is he going to help you? I think it's clear you're still holding something back. What is it?
I didn't do any of it!
That's all you have to say? We went through all of that just for this?
It's why we're here, isn't it? Me not killing anyone is the only statement that matters! Why would I want to help Jameson if he was a threat?
He was a threat. That's why you murdered him.
Yeah, well, why would I even meet him in the first place?
To kill him.
It wasn't me! It was someone else!
Somebody besides Mendiras who would want to kill Jimmy. And he denies everything that's happened. But who else could it be? Who gave the order to shoot Maya? We've only ever heard his name. Unless that was the point. I think I can prove it. Your Honor, the defendant is pleading innocent. It's brief and to the point, but I'd like it added to the testimony. He's right. It's the most central part of the case. I'll address that now. Indeed. Witness, please amend your statement. Now's the moment of truth. Everything is going to come out. Well, looks like we're about to hit the end of the road. And I know there's going to be a while after this, but it looks like we're finally at the beginning of the end.
Okay, here's the new statement. I didn't kill Jameson or order a cover-up of MN6. I'm being framed!
Okay. I'm feeling that at some point, I'm gonna have to bring the good doctor back up here. If not you, then who?
I don't know.
Oh, he knows. That doesn't help much. Any guesses?
Oh, whoever killed Jameson is framing me, I know that.
You've mentioned enemies within the Ravalis family. Would it be one of them?
Makes just as much sense as anything.
Mendiras denies doing anything I've blamed him for. Is it possible he's actually telling the truth?
I guess this is it, right? That moment when you decide whether or not you trust your client. He's saying he's innocent, but I don't know if you should believe him. Remember that he tried to shoot me.
He says he didn't.
Is that good enough for you, Nick? You'd say the same thing in his place.
I probably would. There should be something to prove it either way. We don't know the truth. We don't know if we can trust him. So we'll have to let the facts speak for themselves.
That sounds good. He's a dirtbag anyway. Let's not put too much faith in him.
This is not related to anything, but I just want to say that I really like Mendiras' character design. He looks really badass.
Yes, and very unique. So, I admit that I was a bit too hands-on with the last cross-examination. I'm gonna be very hands-off here. I'm gonna let you figure it out.
Okay. I'll ask for a hint when I need it. I do agree that was a bit too handholdy of you, but I have a feeling I was gonna need a hint either way, because you know, the last time we played this trial was like a few days ago, so I didn't remember all the details, so...
It's alright, you're warmed up now.
hopefully. Mr. Parker is sure he drove... No, that's not related right now. Revised, they covered up after MN6. Togamare denies killing... Yeah. You know what? Why don't we bring up this book? Ask him about Maya. Just ask him about it. And also...
Let's try it.
In talking about the cover-up, what was covered up?
Mm-hmm.
I'm on the wrong statement, first of all. There we go. Oh! Didn't order a cover-up of MN6. I was right.
There you go.
No, oh, damn.
Ah.
I didn't mean to do that. Well, I didn't mean to do this. Okay. Okay, just to be sure, I did present this to this statement, right? Okay,
You did.
yes, I did. Just want to make sure that I didn't accidentally present it to a different statement. Okay, well, we could bring up this letter, ask him about it, maybe?
We could.
Nah.
At this rate, you're gonna edit in a bunch of red X's, and then a green check mark. Da-da-da-da.
No, those are only for slip-ups. But
I know.
But I could do it for... No. If I did the red X's and the wrong buzzer sound for every single time I got something wrong, I would literally be editing for hours. So I'm gonna not do that. You didn't kill Jameson. Wait, let me see what the full statement says. I didn't kill Jameson or order a cover-up of MN6. I'm being framed. So, either prove that he did kill Jameson? No. Order... I think it's the second part. Prove that something shows that he could have killed Jameson, or prove that something shows that he could have ordered a cover-up. Because, like, here, we know for a fact that the Ravalis family covered it up. But that would have been Michael Ravalis covering it up, not him. No, I didn't mean to click on that. No, I don't think that's related. That. Mr. Media had a photo from Jimmy. No, that's just... That's not... Okay. No, one by one. No. No. Muddy prints on the handle are unidentifiable. I think we have to bring that up now.
Good idea.
Damn it.
Damn it.
Fuck! Storm cellar? No. Wiretap? No. Letter? Oh, wait. Wait, no, if that's from Francisco Mendires himself, then why is he talking to himself if he's Francisco Mendires? What the fuck?
Why indeed?
Got it!
There you go.
You were given a note, and it's bothered me ever since seeing it. But now that I know who you really are, it bothers me in a whole new way. Why would a letter addressed from you, with your seal, be sent to you?
That's the one from my safe. I got it after I talked to Jameson about meeting him.
It's not the first time I've seen a note signed like this. Meredith Fay received another one, threatening her and Pearl. Maya got several others, but you say you never sent anything of the sort. And you believe him? I do, in fact. There is another person posing as Francisco Mendires. Where did Francisco Mendires go?
Where indeed? That seems very, very stupid of the mastermind to send a letter with with Menderes' seal to Menderes.
Yeah, it's quite an odd choice to do. But I guess the mastermind just assumed that the truth about Yossarian's identity would never come up. Order! Mr. Wright, what is your basis for this? Menderes had a letter in his safe, seemingly from himself. It already doesn't make any sense, but it gets worse. Everywhere else we've seen the signature show up, it wouldn't make sense for him to author it. Threatening Meredith? Setting up Togamera? Why would he do that to people who had helped him? Maybe they upset him? Perhaps, but as it stands, we don't know anything. And that means that there's no reason for us to think it. Maya has gotten several notes of her own, which threaten her and Pearl. The big connection Meredith, Togamera, Pearl, and Menderes all have is through MN6. Menderes was already found not guilty, so he shouldn't try to silence them. But somebody else has been attacking and setting up Menderes' allies. They're posing as him and using his name to send false messages and orders. Is that why we've only seen him send messages through notes in the internet? I'd say it is. This person is posing as a defendant and sabotaging his command of the family. It makes sense. But why would they do it? Was it a past victim holding a grudge? I don't think so. It all ties back to MN6 in the end. With 2 people killed for the bottle, somebody has a secret to hide. And they plan to frame my client for it all. Very nicely thought out. But up till now, it's all just conjecture. If there was anything to hide about MN6, it would be over the identity of the killer. But as you said, why would it matter to him? No matter how you look at it, the only one with anything to hide is him. What? We know MN6 is the crux to it all, as we've discussed. Yet that just makes him look all the more guilty. Only he would need to enact a cover-up, and that lends to my henchman theory. In that case, the suspect is plainly the killer. Well said, Mr. Williamson. Does the defense have a rebuttal? You've done a good job, Wright. Better than I expected. But we've run out of possible excuses and keep returning to the same conclusion. Francisco Menderes is the mastermind behind everything. There's no point in denying it. I know MN6 is the center to this whole story. But if it is, then Menderes must truly be the killer. But it leaves so many more questions. That can't be it. Is there any other explanation for what happened? I have to come up with it. I need to think hard about this. It might be my last chance. Dual Destinies theory time?
Yep, thought route.
Let me make a save first.
And unlike the turnabout consequences one, we actually have the thought route music this time.
If I'm going to figure this out, I need to think about what made MN6 special. It wasn't the murder itself. That was pretty run-of-the-mill. What made it noteworthy was how the Ravauz family wanted to influence the outcome. They had their hands dirty the whole way through, no doubt. But what part really stands out for their manipulation? I would say during the trial, because that's when they brought up the bottle.
Alright.
They started well, I feel like they started influencing it before the trial, but the bottle was only brought up during the trial. So I don't know which one to go with. I'll go with before the trial for now. No, that's not it. Any killer would try to cover up before the trial. Nothing strange about... Oh, no, I was wrong. I'd say during the trial, then. No? Really? Let's see what you have to say.
Once the trial is over, why keep messing with it?
Oh, that's a good point. Damn, I didn't think about that. They lied and forged evidence,
All right.
but I've seen that happen before. Oh, I get it. I have to think about something that's strange that, like, before the trial, of course they would try to cover it up. During the trial, of course they would try to falsify evidence. After the trial, why would they keep going? That's a good point. I didn't think about that.
It's okay.
The family influenced MN6 even after it was over. Now I remember it. Now I understand! People went to great lengths to cover up MN6, even after the not guilty verdict. Menderes was home free, so that means there was something else that hadn't been revealed. Somebody on the inside told Trucy that. Who did we learn all that from? Is it time? Yep, it's time. Yeah, I think it might be time.
All right.
Hey, buddy. Nope, no, that's not him. I'm not on the right track. I need to stop and think. Okay, so is it Togamera? Or Parker? Let me look at that book again. I think I'm getting confused. It was Togamera, not Drazen.
There you go.
Togamera told us. He admitted he was in on it from the beginning. It fits with everything Williamson mentioned. So despite what Togamera did, I think I can believe this from him. Trucy learned some other things too. There was one other thing strange about MN6, another result of the Revales family. What was unique about their influence on the case? Was unique? There wasn't an autopsy. Mendires was found innocent? That's not strange.
Nope.
Kivshari being arrested? That's not strange. Of course they would find a fall guy for it. Togamera forging the bottle? No, that's about par for the course for criminals. No autopsy?
Yep.
That's odd.
Nice.
That's right. They didn't have an autopsy report for the trial. In fact, they didn't get one until a long time after the case. They made sure nobody got a close look until after it would have made a difference. That is, unless Dr. Drazen examined the body several months later. Why would they bother? What sense does that make? They still needed to hide something, to hide some fact, but about what? What was the big secret about? Well, I mean, if they delayed getting an autopsy getting done, then I would assume there's something to hide about the victim.
Yup. Had to be.
The big reason to stall an autopsy is if there is something off about the corpse. Something you don't want people to know. But what would that be? Williamson thought it was to help Mendires, but was that really it? No, it wouldn't be to protect him, not after the verdict. But it was to protect somebody. Somebody still had a secret they didn't want told. Who was it? Who would they delay the autopsy for, and why?
We could do a process of elimination here if you'd like.
Yes.
So, who would they delay the autopsy for? Can we assume that it would be they would delay it for someone involved in MN6?
Yes. That would
So
make
then we can
sense.
eliminate people like Maya for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's make red X's everywhere.
So would it make any
Williamson?
sense? Would it make any sense for Pearl?
No. Hiding something about the victim? No, I don't think so.
Would it make any sense for Williamson or Jameson?
Nope, definitely not.
All right.
Let's move on.
Would it make any sense for Mendires?
No.
It was found not
Because-
guilty, so no.
Because Phoenix ruled that out. Now, about the doctor, I don't know what secret there would be to hide about him.
Well, he wasn't involved in MN6 until he autopsied the body months after the fact.
Yeah, that's true.
Would it make any sense for
Luciano?
would it make any sense for the victim himself?
Yes.
So,
Because as we can see, we can't even see his face. I know that's maybe just done for, like, aesthetical purposes, but if they were delaying getting an autopsy done, then that's quite the conundrum. Why would they delay the autopsy unless there was something to hide about the victim himself?
and do you want to take a guess as to what that something might be?
I honestly have no idea what it could be.
Well, before you click, I assume you're going to present it?
Yes.
Well, before you do, I want you to try to, because as soon as you click present, a big bombshell is going to be dropped that you might not necessarily make the leap to. The game's going to kind of make the leap for you, which is why I want you to try to guess what they're about to say on your own. So, if there was no autopsy for the victim, what might the secret about the victim be?
What does a vicious streak mean? Just like he butchers his victims, I guess? Is that what that means?
No, if you recall, Parker said that Luciano loved to engage in psychological torture. Just
Oh my god.
break a person down until they're begging to die.
Wow.
And he's kind of been doing, and we're talking like taking away everything from a person that they care about, that they love, things like that.
Hmm. I'm trying to think about it. I don't know. I don't know what there would be to hide about him.
Well, again, if there's no autopsy, then should I just say it?
Oh, wait. Is Carlo
Yes?
Luciano not Carlo Luciano? Is Carlo Luciano not actually Carlo Luciano? It's just some random ass guy. It's not actually him.
When you say it's not actually him, what's it?
Carlo Luciano isn't Carlo Luciano. Because if they delayed an autopsy, they couldn't identify him.
Ah.
If you delayed the autopsy of the guy, delaying the autopsy, because I mean, there's a few things it could be. You could say, they delayed the autopsy so they couldn't find poison in his system. That doesn't make any sense. But if you delay the autopsy, then you don't get an identification on him.
And in doing so, you don't have any proof that. Can you finish the sentence?
Say the sentence one more time.
If you don't have the autopsy, you don't actually have proof
that anyone
that
died.
You are now ready to present.
You don't have. Oh. Carlo Luciano never died. Holy shit! What a bombshell.
Should I have just not said anything and let the game drop that on you without any?
Nope. You should have. You made the right choice in trying to guide me to getting to the answer, because I would not have connected the dots if I just presented it.
All right.
Carlo Luciano never died. There was no murder. They prevented the autopsy to hide the fact that they'd switched the bodies. Oh my, holy shit!
Like you said, Carlo Luciano, quote unquote, was not actually Carlo Luciano. You had it.
Yeah, let's go. And that means he's still out there somewhere. The good doctor. And he made the autopsy. There was no murder. What was that? Did you just say what I think you said? I need to clean my ears. I must be hearing things. You heard right. Luciano is still alive, and if he faked his death, he would be the mastermind and killer. Mr. Jimson tried to tell me the same thing in the lobby for Miss Iris's trial, but I told him he was mistaken. Oh.
Oh,
oh
you
my
owe
God.
it to him.
He tried.
He had it figured out, and he wanted to tell me. It just seems so ludicrous.
This is the secret he died trying to expose. Mandiras didn't murder him at all. He never followed his uncle's orders to kill him.
How can that be? He was dead at the scene.
The family made sure the investigation didn't proceed as planned, especially in regards to the body. They never got an autopsy.
It's true. That always confused me. But there was a dead body. We found someone.
It was another man's corpse that they swapped, a look-alike. Well, unfortunately, these two don't look similar at all, so, I mean, maybe he just grew a beard and cut off his hair and he just got super old, but I don't know. Or it could be what? What were you gonna say?
The part that Phoenix is saying about another man's corpse they swapped a look-alike, Do you remember when I'm probably jumping the gun on you, but remember when Kushari said, "I don't remember seeing any blood"?
Oh shit! That's right! That's right!
Uh-huh.
Oh my god! Bro!
That's what this is all leading up to.
The answers have been staring us in the face since the beginning!
Yup.
Oh my god, Rapha, you genius! You fucking genius! Luciano played dead for Mr. Kushari. Then when Togamera came, they brought in the real victim. Salim Kushari swore he never saw blood around— Oh! No, yeah, they were gonna get to that, actually.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. Swore he never saw blood around Luciano, and that's because he didn't take the poison. Then they continued to block the autopsy to prevent the truth from coming out. Mendires and Togamera helped Luciano cover up that he was still alive. Mendires, is this true? I feel like he's not gonna say it. If he says it, he's gonna die.
If it is, then you know why I can't say yes.
Luciano already has it in for you. Who do you think set you up? Williamson did his own part, but the original reason you're here is because Jimmy got killed. He's the one who's been toying with your allies, making them turn against you. We have arrested 3 people who worked for you, and they all directly named you. You knew you were being framed, and you knew who it was too. Now I'm naming the guy responsible. Am I right or aren't I?
Spot on.
It is? Oh hey, he's back.
There we go.
He was a ghost for like 2 zoomed out scenes. So is he still alive? If he is, he must be a top suspect. He fits the bill to a T. Where is Luciano Mendires? Where is he now?
Do you have any idea what will happen to me if I tell you?
I can only imagine. However, I do know what will happen if you don't. This court will find you guilty and you'll be executed for 3 murders you didn't commit. Sounds ironic, doesn't it?
Executed if you do, executed if you don't.
Yep.
And what if you don't get him?
It's better than giving up and dying for 3 murders you didn't do.
Is it better than Luciano's psychological torture?
No.
Well,
Yeah.
what if... I mean, you can see that Luciano's already been engaged by that, destroying Mendires' control of the family. Anyway, what if I tell you and you screw up somehow?
Have a bit of faith in me. I've gotten you this far.
He's the doctor.
Oh! Well, there it is.
There it is.
Oh boy. Now, to be honest,
I mean,
I'm a little sad and happy that I was actually right, but I have been pretty observant throughout this entire game. So
if you look at their profiles, they have the same nose structure.
him and Lucian. Oh. Now, as I've said, I've been pretty observant throughout this game. I mean, I caught out Virgil Black from the beginning, but to be honest, that guy, he still has, like, the most Kingdom Hearts villain name ever. And then, I caught out Pearl when her fingerprints showed up on the wall. I did that pretty quickly. Yep. The only person that I didn't really catch was Togamera, because I honestly did not think it was him. But I've been pretty observant throughout this game, so me suspecting the Doctor was probably going to come up one way or another, but still.
He was a very strange character from the very beginning. I mean, his own callous disrespect for the dead aside, which is already a red flag, why make a face character out of something as mundane as a coroner?
That's true. But that's quite the bombshell. I'm proud of myself for catching him pretty early, at least catching him before the reveal.
Exactly. Visual novelty did not.
The Doctor? Drazen?
He autopsied himself. There, don't make me have to say it again. It was another man in the body bag. Somebody he got.
Dr. Drazen? This whole time he's been... Stop! This is all insane! Dr. Drazen has been working with us the whole time! That's the point.
I didn't kill your friend, Williamson. I'm not the one you want.
If you don't trust him, trust Jimmy. He tried to tell you and you brushed him off. You owe it to him to make up for it now. Oh, I'm sorry, Williamson. Fine. Bring in the coroner. You're doing the right thing, prosecutor. You don't need to feel bad about it. Don't lecture me! Just find Drazen.
Right away, sir.
Doctor, are you aware of why you've been brought here? My, I must say that I haven't the faintest, sir. Was there an error with one of my reports? Not quite. Mr. Wright, I will leave the witness to you. Could you take Phoenix?
Doctor, we believe that Carlo Luciano may be responsible for these killings. Thanks. I get to be the hero. Do you have any idea how that might be possible?
Hello, Noah here. I apologize for the interruption, but I just wanted to pop in and say that for the next 30 or so minutes of footage, the gameplay audio is going to be missing. And that is because, as you'll probably have noticed, Net's audio has been quite a bit jittery, or it was jittery during this recording session. And while we were trying to figure that out, we paused the recording, and when we came back and started recording again, I noticed this in editing. I'm really mad I didn't notice it before when we were actually recording at the time, but the gameplay audio got jittery as well, and it became extremely distorted. So I did my best to make this part of the episode listenable, which is I completely muted the gameplay audio during that part. I slapped in the music for where it plays in those parts, and I put in the voice clips. So for this section of the video, the music will still be there, but all of the sound effects will be gone, except for the voice clips, of course. So yeah, I just wanted to announce that. Again, I apologize for the interruption in the video and just the gameplay audio issue as well, but with that said, let's get back to the episode.
Oh boy.
Good. Bet he wasn't expecting that.
My, what a strange thought. Don't you think that's a bit outlandish? A cadaver could hardly have murdered anyone.
Exactly. Luciano is not dead.
Aha, so that's why you've brought me forth, is it? You think I made some mistake with the corpse, and so you wish for me to confirm?
In a manner of speaking.
Well, surely there couldn't be more, unless you think I am the killer. But let us realize, sir, that this would be even more baseless than before. An absolutely baseless claim which would never come from you, I am sure.
Not quite as baseless as you might think.
Fear is not always the best way to keep others from telling a secret. You've been exposed. There's nowhere to run. Was it the suspect?
Are you admitting it?
Ah, so it was, I see. No, I am admitting nothing, for that would be ridiculous. It just seems to be a bit silly to believe anything coming from his mouth. Do you not believe that he would support any lie if it proved him innocent? Unless perhaps you have some actual proof of indicating I have some secret identity. Ah, no, I thought not. Well, if I must, I will do my best to clear this filthy accusation.
Alright, first testimony.
What's this? You think Carlo Luciano is still alive? Well, that's simply unthinkable. I wrote the autopsy myself. Yes, I was delayed in performing it, but the specimen remained in police custody the whole while. And to say that I might be Luciano, simply mind-boggling, preposterous. Yes, Luciano is dead, quite dead, and still is too if I'm not mistaken.
You actually didn't say anything to prove your point.
I do not have to, sir. It is you with whom the burden of proof lies. Am I not right, Mr. Prosecutor? It would be the accuser's responsibility. You've given your denial, and from the lack of direct evidence, we can't push you.
You didn't give me anything to argue against. The testimony is too vague.
All he had to do was deny the accusation. It's what we have. The idea of him being Luciano was suspect to begin with. And not a hint of proof beyond the word of a madman on his last lifeline. I've said my part, and I leave the rest up to you.
Do you really think he's that assassin? I'm not sure. How can I even say? Don't give up! You might not have anything to go off of, but I might still be able to help.
Ooh, perceive.
Let me take the reins for a while again, and I'll see if he slips up anywhere. Not much choice right now. You did good before. Show me what you got. Won't let you down.
It's perceiving time.
Mm-hmm.
Hold it!
That's right, alive and well. And they're saying that you might be him.
Why, I never. Of all the loony ideas to think up. It's quite a leap in logic, no? There was a full team of investigators who saw the specimen. I'm not even sure what to say, other than it's just pure and simply wrong.
Well, I think I'll make up my own mind on that.
There's just no convincing some people.
Hold it!
But if you're Luciano, you'd want to make it up.
Young lady, that only works if I was him to begin with. You mustn't jump to conclusions so quickly. Simply mustn't.
Circular logic won't work with him. I need to give a reason to think he might be Luciano.
Hold it!
How do you know that for sure?
Oh, well, I'm not the only one who will attest to it. The specimen was well monitored the whole while. We have records of it. Prosecutor, perhaps you would care to confirm. It's true. The body never left police supervision until the autopsy and the subsequent cremation. Ah, there you have it. Now, to the next part for me to address this most unsettling accusation of yours.
Hold it!
It sounds crazy, but he has to be alive.
No, I don't agree. But even if he were, that does nothing to implicate me, does it? No matter how you analyze it, the claim is simply unthinkable. Do you have any evidence of such?
Mr. Menderes said you were.
Just a murder suspect covering for his own hide. The man would betray even his closest allies. Why not also lie to you? The less faith you place in him, the better. I advise you to take further examination of the case, and you will see that I am right. Oh, you slimy piece of shit.
Hold it!
But if he was dead, why would the Rivales family want to protect him?
Protect him? They murdered him, child. I've no earthly idea why they would convolute the case in such a manner. But I assure you that I can tell a non-living specimen from one who's still alive.
Wait, but Mr. Kushari was the one arrested. Isn't that what the police wrote as the official story? But you said the Rivales family killed Luciano. Why would you think that?
What a slip up. What a slip up of the century. Slip up, man. Wow, that would rival my slip ups when I mess up my words. And that's saying something. Carlo Luciano is dead, miss. It doesn't matter who did it or who is incarcerated. He is dead. We are speaking of the victim, not the culprit. Now I will not be bullied by baseless accusations. I am Morton Drazen, alive and well. I am not the man you are looking for.
I just need to find some kind of nervous tick. I can find it by using the bracelet at the right place. Then we can find out what's really going on.
What happened to the music?
What indeed?
What in the world? I'm sure I can find that cross-examination music. I'll just put it in here. I don't know what statement it's going to be, which is a problem. I assumed that the presses would have showed me which statement it is.
Yeah, this testimony doesn't really make it clear which statement to perceive, which means if you go at it alone, you'll have to spend quite a bit of time just searching every nook and cranny.
Oh boy. Okay, well let me...
I can give a hint if needed.
I'll try this one first.
All right.
Where the hell did the music go? I'm so confused. Whoa! Whoa!
I think-
Oh my god!
Whoa!
Holy shit!
Hello, you.
Whoa, 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 whoa! What's with your eyes, man?
Gotcha!
That is nasty. Oh, you perceived it right as it stopped.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
Also, how about this? Try resetting the game or load a different save and maybe the music will come back. Oh, wow. Check sound. Oh. There we go.
And then let's go saves. There we go. It was just a glitch in the Matrix.
Haha.
And now I can't... Okay, there we go. Alright, let's try this one more time. Apologies for the music cutting out. I don't know what the hell happened. Pyrite is just having issues again.
This game is trying to stop us every step of the way.
Okay.
Nasty.
Boom!
Doctor!
Wait a minute.
Doctor!
Wait a fucking minute.
What is it?
There was some talks in MN6
Yes?
about a one-eyed man.
Yup!
Oh my god. What? And he's been wearing glasses this entire time, so we couldn't see his eyes. Oh,
That's
wow.
right! Oh, all the answers are coming out.
Yep.
You only have one eye!
Pardon me, but how rude.
Rude? We're looking for a one-eyed man!
Well, I know what I'm calling this episode.
The hunt for the Cyclops?
You know, that's actually a pretty good title, but I was just going to call it the one-eyed man.
That works too. Those big old goggles on your head are usually too foggy to see through. But at just the right angle... That's why you fiddle with them when you get nervous. You want to hide it. You're the man we're looking for.
Is it true? The witness only has one eye?
I saw it. Behind his glasses. They're foggier than Gourd Lake, but I could see it. One of them's been scratched out.
Ouch. The one-eyed man? Luciano, he only had one eye. That was the one thing people always remembered about him.
Jehoshaphat, what a far-fetched idea. Like the Pokemon. Well, this is no good. How simply dreadful. Oh, that's a new sprite.
You're looking a bit more diabolical there, good doctor.
It seems as though you think you can pin me as Luciano, but with my eye, I must say, sir, that it's frankly horrifying how off-mark you are. Oh no, that simply will not do.
You're not Morton Drazen. You're Carlo Luciano, the assassin who was supposedly killed during MN6. He's the only other person remotely connected with this case who would have only one eye.
Rude! It's not kind to harass others for their deformities. I'll tell you that the condition of my face is only passingly related to Luciano's. This was a gift from me to me from Mr. Mendiaz himself. After I wrote the report for Luciano's body, he gave it to me. A reminder that I should keep my mouth shut. He took the eye to show that he would always be watching me.
You're Luciano, and you killed our 3 victims.
Oh, come now, I don't see why I would have any reason to do that. But before we even get to there, let's ask the question everybody's really thinking. Since you insist, how did Luciano survive?
How? Huh. Jumping right into the meat of it.
Yes, how? A witness saw his dead body. The prosecutor saw it. And don't suggest an antidote. Not a drop of counteracting agent was found in his bloodstream.
You didn't need an antidote. I don't think you took the poison at all.
Well, you'll find you've hit a wall, sadly. Because poison is one thing his body was chock full of. You, Prosecutor Williamson, you would recall well, yes? Tell me, am I lying?
No, the victim ingested enough poison to kill him twice over.
Nobody ever claimed to see the poison being placed in his meal. Both Kushari and Mendiras accused the other of having put it in while he couldn't see. All we know is that a body was found and the testimonies were inconsistent.
I fail to see your point, sir. If they found a body, then there was a victim. It doesn't indicate Luciano never died.
I think when you consider MN6, you'll find a lot pointing to it. For instance, there was some more confusion around the state of the supposed corpse. Were you aware that not everyone saw blood around him?
Mr. Kushari, he was telling the truth.
Mr. Kushari didn't see blood because Luciano didn't vomit it up. He never ingested the poison. That wasn't Luciano's body they found. It looked like him, but it wasn't him. He faked his death to get Kushari's attention. And then later, he went into hiding, and they swapped his body out for a look-alike.
It's true. It all makes sense. I was a fool. The answer's been staring me in the face all the while.
That's what we said. The answers
Yep.
the answers have been staring at us all this time.
Have you lost your marbles, Mr. Prosecutor? He's yet to provide an iota of proof of this fairy tale.
You're the man I should have been after. Mendiaz was never the one. It was you all along.
It's one thing to claim Luciano lived. Something entirely more to say that I am he, but we haven't even reached there yet. Mendiaz is quite guilty in many ways, you'll find.
We need a better way to corner him, right? How would such an act be possible? Luciano would need to fool everybody.
It wouldn't be hard at all. Especially not with help from his accomplice.
His accomplice would be Mendiaz himself.
Both Togamera and you could have presented him or Togamera. Both Togamera and Mendiras were there to help him. Mendiras lied about the murder, and Togamera swapped the bodies. We got a confession from Togamera that he convinced Mr. Kushari to hold the forged bottle. Mr. Mendires admitted that he didn't kill Luciano. We know they were both in on the plan to keep him alive.
A spectacular hypothesis, if I might say so. But it seems to me that it simply does not make sense.
It doesn't!
Now, don't get me wrong, taken on its own, it seems that it might work. Perhaps it is indeed possible Luciano managed to survive and I observed a fake. But where does that leave us? Him in 6 for the trial for murder 5 years ago. Mendires was already cleared for it. You have now 3 new cases for which he is under suspicion. Now, Luciano, why must he have anything to do with them, pray tell,
He needed to cover up that he was still alive.
Yes, that must be the case. Not so, I'm afraid. You see, I think it's quite clear that the facts point to Mendires. Now, theorizing that he is innocent, the evidence being strongly against him, it would have to be a setup.
Oh.
Ah, yes, you see it now. Herein lies the folly of your logic, my dear attorney. It looks as though our game is afoot, Mr. Wright.
How dare you use that line?
The game is afoot.
That's not for him to say.
Hypothetically speaking, say I am Luciano. Even then, why assume he'd be the killer? Mendires spared his life once, you say? In that case, they must be cohorts. But if Luciano killed the recent subjects, he must be setting Mendires up, no? There would be no reason to betray him. No reason at all, so why believe it? No, it was Mendires himself. Everything points to him.
He does raise a good point. If
Yeah.
if Mendires helped Luciano, why would Luciano turn on him?
Yeah.
I suppose, given what we know, that wouldn't make much sense, would it?
Yes, indeed, Your Honor. Yes, indeed. I'd speculate that he'd be forever indebted to a man who saved him from Rivales' wrath. But of course, the entire story must depend on Luciano being alive in the first place. Thus, you see, the defense's position creates even more problems than before.
Who but Luciano would need to cover up the truth behind MN6? Who but you, Drazen?
You are the one making an unfounded accusation, not me. Does the court not have protections for witnesses against such treatment?
The defense must admit that it sounds crazy. Can you prove that Luciano survived and is framing the defendant?
Without a doubt, Your Honor. Or maybe just a small one.
Ah, but if you can't, then this was all for naught. If you don't have the proper evidence, I recommend we drop the whole ordeal.
Perhaps. In any case, I believe we should make certain we're on the right track. Double penalties! Let's not allow the trial to get off course at this point.
Understood, Your Honor. I can't let him win. If I screw this up, he'll get away for good. And who knows what'll happen to the rest of us.
Yeah, you're all dead if he gets out of this.
Exactly.
But I did say that I want to explore the bad ending. I'm assuming there's going to be a bad ending somewhere, so
You
we're gonna have
did.
to find that. We're going to have to find that.
Hold it!
Luciano would want to silence Jimmy and Miss Porter to keep the truth hidden.
Perhaps he has the motive to kill, but there's nothing placing him at the crime. But even say he did kill them, then you still can't explain the rest.
The rest?
Yes, Your Honor. If he killed the 3, none of his other actions make any sense. He certainly went out of his way to make sure another person got caught.
Mendires.
Ah, you're a quick one. Let's get on with that then, shall we? Simply baffling as far as motives go. Oh my god, he looks so goddamn evil right now. Look at his face. Look at that smile.
And that's with the glasses on. That was 5 years ago. We don't know what's gone on with them since then.
Oh, does gratitude for saving one's life carry an expiry date? I was not aware. I won't let you back down on it now, sir. No, sir, not while you're coming for me.
If Luciano survived, you have no idea what he has been up to the whole while. And that would mean you're not in a position to theorize on his attitude to Mendez.
Mendez helped protect Luciano from his uncle. He'd be in his debt.
That is how a normal person would act, yes. And yet if he's the killer, it appears he holds some grudge.
Why do you say that?
His behavior indicates it. Take a closer look at all that has occurred, will you?
Hold it!
That's the idea.
Most peculiar. Why in the world would he do that? I don't suppose you can prove such a thing transpired.
I know somebody acted to stop Mendez from speaking to Jimmy. That was you.
Ah, well, I'm afraid I'll have to deny it. Mendez would never do that, would he? Betray a man he'd once saved? Surely a mafia crime lord would never stoop so low. The mere thought of such a barbarous act makes your blood boil, does it not?
They both betrayed each other?
Well, that's how mafia works.
But who did it first? There's so many stories woven together, I can't seem to sort it out. What's happened since Mendez took power? That seems to be what brought Luciano back into action. Two betrayals? Maybe that's how I need to think of this.
This is definitely the statement here.
Hold it!
Maybe there is some reason we can still find.
Ah, but you don't know it, do you?
No, not yet.
Tick-tock, Mr. Right, trial ends today. If you can't say it right now, that's all that really matters. There's only one person whose actions make total sense as the culprit. No, it was Mendez himself who was responsible. Everything points to him.
Can the defense explain this discrepancy in Luciano's actions?
There has to be something. I'll think of it. Did Luciano have a grudge against Mendez? Why? That's the only way it makes sense for him to frame him.
Okay.
Hold it!
You're the new suspect along with him.
Hardly at all. Step back and reanalyze your situation. You would need to definitively prove I'm Luciano to get anywhere with that. And I don't think you can do that. You're left assuming at a setup.
I've been following the wrong man all this time. Mr. Jameson figured out you were the one behind it all. I won't let you leave this courthouse a free man.
Tut tut, prosecutor, you know I'm right. The defense can't prove a thing.
Stay with me on this, Williamson. He won't escape.
Yes, Prosecutor Williamson. I know you can find something disproving the multitude of evidence against Mendez.
There is a lot.
Well, I guess that leaves us with two options. Either the evidence is so heavy because Mr. Mendez is guilty, or maybe we're just meant to think that way. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Did Luciano frame Mr. Mendez? If he's the killer, then yes. Sounds confusing, doesn't it? Why would he do that? We don't know yet. It makes sense for Mendez as the killer, but not Luciano. That's how all the details fit together. For now. I need to find the flaw in Drazen's argument. No, not Drazen. Luciano.
Okay. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to look at Trucy's notes.
I mean, even if Luciano was in debt to Menderes, it says he has a particularly vicious streak. I don't think he cares about being in debt to someone. But I don't know if that's really where it wants me to go with this, but I'll try it.
Objection!
Nope.
You know,
What?
shall I tell you how to get a bad ending?
There's a bad ending here in this testimony?
In this trial?
Tell me how to get it once we get to the point where we're able to get it.
I think that might be now. I've never seen it for myself, though.
Oh. Okay, so just present wrong evidence.
Simply failed the trial.
Okay.
Objection!
I didn't mean to do that. No, I actually did mean to do that this time.
Mm-hmm.
Objection!
Here we go. That's enough. That's enough. I see no reason to prolong this trial. The defense's case is insufficient to overturn the prosecution's claims. I will now turn this case over to the jury. They may decide their verdict. The jury has decided. It is unanimous. This court finds the defendant guilty. I think Pirate's going to close now. Oh. Ooh. Who's speaking here? Phoenix?
I'm sure you can guess what happened after that. Menderes was, of course, found guilty. They executed him for mass murder, as was only fair. Luciano vanished without a trace the following day. He truly was the famed assassin. Wright had been on track, he just didn't have the evidence to prove it. And that small failing proved quite unfortunate for him and the prosecutor. Who can say if Wright was a man that believed in miracles? But what happened to him was certainly the opposite.
Oh boy.
You see, this was never Mr. Wright's story to tell, his victory to claim. Oh. This is probably Luciano.
I, on the other hand, well, I can't say I have any complaints. And Pyrite closed. Well, we got the bad ending.
There you go.
Let's go ahead and go and get the good ending this time.
We're gonna have to work a little bit harder for it.
There we go. We're back in
All
it.
right.
Okay,
I can see it.
One by one again. No. No. That's not really a reason to betray. But that is going to come up soon, I'm going to guess. Nope. No, that was placed by Webb. I mean, this letter, you've been in contact with Jameson, haven't you? He can't help you. I know what you did. Nobody can help you. Nobody will. I'll try it.
Objection!
Damn. Nope. Nope.
I already tried this. Okay, you know, God damn it, I gotta say, the doctor has a point here. He has a really good point.
He does. Like I said.
I mean, if Menderes was gonna talk to Jameson and work with him, and Menderes wanted to get help, then I would assume that would be quite the betrayal, and then Luciano wouldn't care anymore.
Objection!
Nope.
The problem with that argument is that Luciano was sabotaging Menderes' command of the family well before then. He betrayed, starting with the betrayal of Togamera.
I'm gonna be honest, I don't really know. I would like a hint, please.
Well, there's a piece of evidence that ever since there's a piece of evidence that shouldn't matter anymore, that should be irrelevant now, and yet for some reason it still is relevant, but we don't know why. I'm trying to be vague.
That was incredibly vague. So
Sorry.
Damn it, no, I didn't mean to do that. Nope. Nope, nope, there we go. Okay, no, that was placed by Hood.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it has the suspect's handprints, and that's still kind of relevant because Menderes would have picked up the shovel, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Nope. Okay, the wiretap does placed by Webb, and that was tracking Menderes' calls, but I don't think that would be relevant right now. I already tried this. Actually, no, you've been in contact with Jameson, haven't you? Don't bother, you can't. How would he know that? Unless the wiretap tracked the conversations, and this guy somehow got into it, or had somehow looked at the conversations. I'll try the wiretap.
Objection!
Damn it.
Dang it.
No, that's just for Porter. That's not relevant. That's not relevant either. No. No, that's for Porter. That's for Porter. That's not relevant here.
Nope.
Well, the MN6 bottle shows that Jimmy and Menderes were in contact, so I'll try that as well.
Objection!
God damn, what the hell is it? This also talks about the bottle, but this is about Porter. So, I don't think that's really relevant. Don't... Why does it just trail off?
They're saying cooperate and nothing will go wrong. Don't cooperate and...
Oh, okay. Well, this talks about the bottle as well, so... I'm running out of ideas here. Okay, I'll ask this. Is this the right statement?
Is not.
Damn it! God damn it. Okay, alright.
Alright.
No, his Mandira's and stuff, everything points to him. I will try the threatening letter here. And here's his letter here. Even then, why assume he'd be the killer? Cause he, assuming that Luciano here killed Porter, why the hell would he care about getting the bottle back?
Why indeed?
What would he gain from getting the bottle back?
It's proof. It could work. It could be used as proof of a cover-up of MN6.
That is true. Okay, so I'll try
Or
the
a sabotage
recording.
of MN6, I should say.
Huh?
Or sabotage of MN6, I should say.
I'll try the recording bug here first, and then I'll try the bottle. Nope. The cover-up. I'll try the notes. Okay, I would at least like to know which statement it is.
It's the statement, everything points to him.
Okay. And your hint from earlier was saying it's evidence that shouldn't matter anymore, but it still matters, which would be the bottle.
Or that you think does not matter, but actually does.
I'll try the bottle first.
Alright?
Not the bottle. And if it's not the bottle, then I would guess it's not the recording bug either. Yep. Let me try the letter. Got it. I was on the
Good
right
job.
track. I was on the right track. That's you.
The defendant's phone line was being tapped, but we don't know who was listening. Agent Webb put up the wire, but his supplies were stolen after his death. Somebody's still been monitoring Mr. Mendires, and it hasn't been Interpol.
Togamera had me thrown out of the crime scene. I thought he might have been hiding something. What happened to the stolen equipment?
He gave it away. We know he's not the one who kept them in the end.
We do?
The wiretap was used within the last few days. Take a look at the letter we have again, the one from FM. So presenting the wiretap or the letter would have worked.
Cool.
That's why I was saying it's a piece of evidence that you might think is irrelevant because, yeah, the wiretap, it was planted by Agent Webb, but then once he died, who was using it?
Yeah. Okay.
Mentions his meeting with Mr. Jameson. His sender wanted to keep my client from speaking to him.
And that person must be called Luciano. Togamera trusted and worked with him. They helped each other in MN6.
I'd say Luciano fits the bill.
Togamera must have given the recording equipment to Luciano thinking he was Mendires.
Oh, gotcha. My, it seems to be a point in the defense's favor. Oh, it would, were this not all merely conjecture. The letter to Mendes seems mysterious. Perhaps you try linking it directly to Luciano or myself, will you? Maybe you can get a confession out of Mr. Togamera. Oh, but on second thought, perhaps that would not work because...
Togamera accused Mendires he'd speak against him.
Yes, that would be a problem for you, wouldn't it?
Isn't that still a bit funny? What is? Both Togamera and Meredith claimed they were betrayed by Mr. Mendires. If we assume that's true, what then? The more I think about it, the more it can't be right. Huh? Why not? You think Meredith and Togamera were made to think that? Uh-huh. Don't you think so? Think I do. Your Honor, we may have another reason to believe Mr. Mendires was set up. We know some of his allies named him as having given them orders. They claimed he backstabbed them, leading to their arrests, but that's not the case.
Yes, what leads you to believe that? Now, what is this saying? Okay, Meredith and Togamera saying that they were betrayed by Mendires. Now, there's no proof of it, there's no motive for it, or there's a contradiction about him betraying them. Donatello was ordered to betray Maya's grandma. If Donatello was hired by the family in order to betray Maya's grandma, that doesn't really make any sense. Well, no, that would kind of show that Mendires did betray her. I'm honestly not sure. I'm gonna go with no motive for this one. I'll try it. I'm a little bit confused.
Just like with Luciano to Mendires, Mendires himself wouldn't bear any ill will towards these two. They aided him before and he'd gotten away with everything. Why turn on them now after it was all done?
They helped him how?
Both Togamera and Meredith were connected in their own way to MN6. You see, Your Honor, it's all coming back to Luciano.
My, what an extraordinary hypothesis. You've truly thought this through. What was the point of it all then? It would be an awful lot of time and effort.
The plan was to turn Mendires' allies against him, to hurt his base of support. You didn't just want to discredit him, you wanted to ruin him. And you succeeded in doing just that. Mendires' usual lawyers all refused to take his case. He had to turn to me, a stranger, for help.
Well, hey, the thing that you kept bringing up about the lawyers has finally come back up.
Finally. The family no longer trusts him. That was the goal all along. It's an important point.
Bravo, my man, bravo! I always enjoy a good battle of wits. So you claim that I've woven some incredible web to snare my purported prey. A predator toying with his food. I'm honored. Well, I'm hungry for more. If it's as you say, I've won already. Come now, don't stop there. Tell us everything. You aren't even nervous? I'm negative to that, sir. Why should I be? If I'm not Luciano, this is all mere badgering. If I am, there's still no way Mr. Hyde could prove it. All the evidence and accusations still point directly to Mendires.
Not everything.
Eh?
Most of the events we've seen, somebody claimed to be Mendires and took credit for it. But there was one time where we have no idea who was responsible.
I'm pretty sure it's gonna be Porter. No fingerprints, no gloves, no card on the floor to say it was a hit job. We don't know who killed her yet.
Nice.
I think that's it.
Take that!
Aww.
Damn it, really? Really?
Damn it.
But that, what the fuck? Did I
I
present the
guess
bug?
we're pretty convinced that that Luciano killed her.
Take that!
What the hell? I mean, the only other thing I could think of is, this. Togamera denies killing Cody. But Togamera said himself that it was Mendires who did it.
Right.
And I could bring this up because that's where I first suspected Drazen. This is where I first suspected him. But I'll try it, I guess.
Take that!
Nope.
The reason that doesn't work is because it's yet another instance where Mendires is being named as the culprit.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe I present Porter's autopsy report?
Take that!
Nope. I don't know what Phoenix is talking about here.
Well,
I have no idea.
there's something here that has more anonymity than the others.
I mean, the shovel has muddy fingerprints which are unidentifiable. I guess I could go with that, but
But it has Mendires' fingerprints.
yeah, that's true. Okay, Jameson, the court is kind of convinced that Menderes did that one. Porters, it's not relevant right now, but Blacks. We don't know what he was strangled with. We don't know what he was stabbed with. And we're only assuming that Virgil Black's murder is connected to Jameson's murder. We're only assuming that. I'm gonna go with Black's autopsy on this one. Damn it, really?
No, the Menderes is still is suspected for Black's murder too, and we're trying to prove that it's Luciano who did it.
What in the world is it? What in the world is it?
Not enough enemy. Well, let's see.
The fuck? Anonymous letter.
Ah.
Yeah,
anonymous letter.
I didn't even think about that.
Okay. Maya received a few notes recently. They're anonymous, and I don't believe that was a mistake. It wasn't Menderes who sent them, nor were we supposed to assume that it was.
Why is that?
The notes threaten Maya to keep Pearl hidden. Menderes would have no reason to need that, and the author knew that.
You mean Miss Faye's faked kidnapping? We know it was tied to Imin 6, but never found out why.
Pearl returning could open up new testimony that would turn the case on its head. She was there, and she knew things nobody else wanted to say. Even though it had been, quote-unquote, solved, her words would discredit everything the defense had said. That being that Luciano never died in that diner!
Oh, that's why. Oh my god, what a smart cookie this guy is. Order, it's another point in favor of a motive for Carlo Luciano, and another against one for the defendant. Were these letters why Miss Faye nearly died?
Maya planned to release the letters to the public through Miss Porter. However, she told her grandmother, who alerted who she thought was Menderes. The fake Menderes, Luciano, saw the threat and ordered Maya shot. If I'd been hit with that rifle and not a pistol, I would have been a goner. After the hit failed, Luciano ordered Donatello to turn over Meredith. But Donatello saw that beneath him, Donatello saw that beneath him and named Menderes instead, who he thought gave the order. That was exactly what Luciano wanted to happen. It was all a part of a calculated plot to destroy Menderes' reputation. Luciano has a much more solid motive than Menderes ever would!
Good, splendid, simply marvelous. I never would have expected you could tie so much together. It's quite the history you've woven there, sir, but it lacks a punchline. Luciano plotted against your client, and yet we still don't know why.
No way! I was hoping they'd forget I skipped that.
My dear friend, you mustn't ignore the most crucial element. We've heard how Menderes was set up, but you still must provide more. Why would Luciano go to such lengths? It seems quite the task. But if you've planned this far, surely you must have the answer. You've yet to tell me why Luciano would turn on Menderes. Setting up Togama and Faye seems more effort than it would be worth. After all, if he was that angry, why not just kill Menderes and be done with it? This whole revenge scheme would be utterly pointless and petty. Motive cannot work without an actual reason. We have reason to suspect Luciano operated based on a grudge, yes, but why? This is assuming, of course, Luciano still exists among the living. A silly notion to be sure, but perhaps the defense can make something out of it.
Luciano is still alive, and he's you.
An even sillier thought, but I have nothing to fear from it. But I feel we've already been through this. Why don't we move along?
What is your goal here? Even if you are not Luciano, why would you push us like this? Especially if you are not Luciano.
Sir, there isn't anywhere else I'd love to be than this courthouse right now. You see, no matter how hard you in the defense press, you will ultimately flounder. It is survival the best in this world, and I intend to prove my point.
He's having fun.
Ugh. I mean, this guy thrives off of psychological torture, so I wouldn't expect anything less.
Mm-hmm. Luciano, sorry. Luciano, you wanted to destroy Mendires' control over the family. You did it to make him fall from power.
Ah, yes, but why? Such an odd goal when they would otherwise appear as friends. If I were Luciano, I would be in Mendires' debt, no?
Perhaps we can ask Mendires himself.
Perhaps you can, yes. Do not let me stop you.
He's not afraid at all of what Mendires might say. He wants it to come out. I'm afraid to find out what he's expecting, but I need to know. Important to proving Mendires isn't guilty. You wanted to hurt him. You needed to ruin his reputation.
Really? Once again, why? All this plotting would get him nowhere. Much easier to take a direct course of action.
What do you mean?
Why, it was so much planning that could have easily been circumvented. What did Togama and Faye have to do with this alleged grudge?
Well, I can't personally see anything.
It was their relation to Mendires himself. This was never about those other two. It was all to destroy Mendires' own standing.
A bit simplistic, I must say, but as you say, if this was all about Mendires...
Perhaps more was called for.
I don't see you naming anything. It must truly have been big to turn this man against the one who saved him from Rivales. Does it not seem odd to you at all that after Mendires risking his neck to keep Luciano alive, Luciano would then backstab him in such a way?
It does seem off, but I haven't quite found out why.
Well, do not let me stop you at that. If you wish to indict me as a suspect, you'd need that reasoning, wouldn't you?
Why would Luciano put so much effort into bringing down Mendires? And why turn on him at all? Luciano seems intent on letting me figure it out. I hope I'm not going to regret this. Are we going to put Petty above a guy like Carlo Luciano?
Well, he still needs that motive you're calling at. Your Honor, if you were avenging yourself upon a man, would you draw it out so much?
Well, I don't consider myself to be that kind of person, but no, I don't think I would involve people who weren't responsible.
This is the Mafia, Your Honor. They're not known for playing fair.
No, they aren't. But still, the defense brought up in the witness, so they should answer his question.
A fair point, sir. I wouldn't believe the story otherwise.
Do we know Togama and Mystic Faye were not involved with the betrayal?
No, but then why would he put so much effort into it?
Sheer vindictiveness, perhaps? Let's drag the answer from him.
How do we respond to that? Luciano seems to be leading us in this direction. Either he knows we can't prove anything, or he wants us to. Does it have something to do with MN6? Maybe Luciano needed to keep him quiet about something? Mendires already knows all there is to know about MN6. If there was a betrayal, it must be over something else. Why would Luciano plot against somebody who helped him fake death? Must have been huge.
You wanna know why? Because you're fucking crazy.
Ooh,
You have
let's
a
see if that's enough.
particularly vicious streak. I'm gonna try it. Got it.
Nice. You should know as well as as anybody, Luciano is not good with grudges. Mr. Williamson, could you please relate to me a brief summary of Luciano's reputation?
Carlo Luciano was feared among the criminal element not only for his role as an assassin, but also because he was vengeful to the point of it becoming an obsession. Should he sense he had been betrayed, he would seek to destroy everything about his victim. Only after they'd lost everything would he finally kill them. Well, that sounds like our current situation. Ah, does it, Your Honor? But recall, we still don't know what the betrayal was. No, that's also true. Mendiaz had to watch his whole empire crumble from within. All his cleverly won allies turning on him and naming him their enemy. And that leadership which he had worked so hard to get.
He did?
Why, of course, a disgraced former capo coming out of retirement to become the Dawn. Don't tell me you believe it. Our boy has been very, very naughty.
Oh. Stop! No more! What? What is it? Look, just forget the motive already, will you? It doesn't matter! We don't need to hear any more of this!
Oh, what's going on? Without the backstory, the entire argument falls apart. It is imperative that the defense continue.
Shut up! Nobody asked you! You're my lawyer! I'm paying you, not him, you hear?
I mean, what's best for your case and the truth, right? I see it in our interest to discover what this secret was. Will you work together with me as you said you would?
No! I thought you wanted me to trust you! Do I even want to know what the matter is? The case is hanging on this single hope. I can't let go of it. But what if I just make everything worse? What should I do?
Oh. I wonder if there's another bad ending here. Let's try it.
You can try and find out.
Yep.
If it's really that bad for my client, then I have no choice but to avoid this line of questioning.
I urge you to reconsider what might be in your client's best interests. We suspect there is somebody dangerous already plotting against him, and that person might get away with it if you back off now.
What's really best for Mr. Mendires? Well, for that matter, all of us. What lies for me at the end of this path?
Oh, it's not going to even let me choose.
Mr. Mendires, I do want you to trust me. And that's why I need you to stick with me here. You don't understand. There's no coming back from this. There's no way to go forward either. If Luciano goes free, you will never be safe. No matter what else happens, can anything be worse than that? No. If I skip this, my whole argument falls apart. I can't continue. You want us to stop him, don't you? I have to do this. It's the only way. Please. Do you trust me? You still have no idea what you're doing. But I was a gunner no matter what in this trial. If I have to drag this son of a bitch to hell with me, so be it! Hopefully it won't come to that. Your Honor, the defense will continue the cross-examination. This last conversation with the witness and the defendant gave me some more pieces to the puzzle.
It did now.
Just enough for me to guess what motivated Luciano's actions. Mr. Mendires protested me continuing vehemently. He did that after Luciano said he'd schemed to get where he is. So what's the truth behind it all?
Yeah. I've got it. I know what it is.
What is it?
I know exactly what it is.
What is it?
Mr. Parker doesn't think Virgil Black was alone in planning Sir Galante. Sir Galante went after a bunch of Ravala's men. And if Mendires set that up, then helped set it up at least, then yeah, that would be quite the scheme to get to the top.
Do you recall Mendires when we were talking to him in jail? At one point, we talked about Sir Galante, and Mendires said he didn't kill everyone.
Yeah, I do remember that.
Well, who did Sir Galante miss then?
This guy. You've yet to tell me why Luciano would turn on. Yep, I'll tell you. I'll tell you right now. Gotcha.
I believe that our motive for revenge lies within another string of murders. That's Sir Galante I'm talking about.
Sir Galante, why would you need to bring him up right now? That would answer many questions at once. Continue, right?
It's necessary for us to mention Mr. Black, because the mastermind behind him was...
Take that!
Gotcha.
Every time Phoenix slams his desk, I slam my armchairs. My armchair, the armrests, yeah.
Yeah.
The defendant, Mr. Mendires.
Hold on a minute. Do you mean to say that it was all a plot to seize control of the family?
It certainly looks that way, unless my client happens to have a different explanation. Oh, nabbit! Are you gonna make me come out and say it? It was your odd reaction that tipped me off something was wrong. But I'm not the only person who has had their doubts. Mr. Parker was closer to Virgil Black than anyone. And yet he thought it was odd he'd planned it alone. Prosecutor Williamson worked on the case for years. And through most of that time, he had at least some reason to think you were behind it. And even you've made some odd comments. He didn't kill everyone, as you said. You were allegedly retired during that time. Retired and on bad terms with your uncle, how would you know who was or wasn't killed? You've been scared from the beginning what this case might bring up, and I think this is it. There's a lot for you to be ashamed of, but this is the #1 thing. You were plotting Galante's murders, funding him and giving him information on the family. That was how he knew where and when to strike. He couldn't have done it alone.
The argument would never hold up in court, but I think we found our motive. It will work for the time being, I'm sure. After all, it would be in Mr. Mendires' better interest to agree with us.
Trading one death sentence for another? Do you think I'm crazy? I'm not admitting to anything! Besides, this is no motive. Not for Luciano, it isn't. Uncle Mike wanted to assassinate him, remember? He knew who the order came from.
That's another good point. Wouldn't Luciano have just as much reason to sabotage Michael Rivales?
That's where our story gets really interesting. Mendires wasn't just having people killed for power. He was doing it because he was paranoid, worried about his uncle's wrath. The man doesn't trust anybody. I've learned that much in just 3 days.
My god, the amount of times this guy has been stubborn and saying, trust me or not, believe me or not. I'm tired of it.
If Rivales ever found out he'd let Luciano live, he'd be done for. That's where the betrayal comes in.
Wait, are you saying that...
In regards to Sir Galante, Carlo Luciano was...
I mean, I would have to go with the victim on this one. The real Galante, that doesn't make any fucking sense.
Nope.
Galante's accomplice? No. Victim.
Luciano was one of the victims of Sir Galante, or should I say, an intended victim.
Oh, there we go.
Wait just a minute again. Intended victim, so he got away?
Sir Galante didn't kill everybody. Mr. Mendira told me that much, but his words seem to have a whole new meaning. By the way, am I still jittery?
Nope.
Awesome! He is scared about the people in his own organization, but why? What could he have to hide from them that was so huge?
It stopped jittering a while ago, actually. I forgot to mention it.
Awesome. It's my passion that did it. And if it was Galante, who would have known other than Galante? Or one of Galante's failed targets!
Could he have accomplices to the plot? Somebody else plotting against Rivales?
That wouldn't leave a motive for Luciano to turn on him. Luciano had to feel betrayed by Mendira somehow, and what better way than a botched assassination? Mendira wanted to make sure nobody ever found out he disobeyed Rivales. But you don't know I ordered it, and you can't because Virgil Black is dead!
You were peeking the microphone a lot.
Damn it. Sorry. This is all just a lot of fancy guesswork! I could never prove it. I'm sure nobody here could apart from yourself. You, and if I'm right, the man you tried to have killed. You're here because you did something to make him angry. It's either that or you murdered Mr. Black and Jameson. So help me here. I'm trying to save your paranoid hide, crazy as it seems. I'm not going in for Galante. I won't admit a thing.
God damn it, man. This is not the time to be stubborn.
But I did send someone to take care of Luciano. I'll tell you that much and no more.
That was the betrayal. That's why Luciano came after him.
An admission of attempted murder? If I didn't know any better, I'd think it was my lucky day.
That's all you're getting. Just get that cycle off my back.
Why did you do it?
Hey, I didn't have any other choice. Michael would have killed me. I
don't know
think
who that
that's I think that's Luciano himself.
Oh, okay. Rivales found out his nephew hadn't killed Luciano. That was why. Mendiaz, being the coward he is, panicked and sicked his dog Galante on them both. But the dog only succeeded in killing one.
Do you know this, Doctor?
Huh.
The breadcrumbs would be too easy to follow if you knew Mendiaz's handiwork. Years of plotting alongside him would show you it pointed right to the man. Luciano's only mistake was to not see it coming. Regrettable that he'd come to trust Mendiaz. He should have known from the start. He who would betray his own blood out of fear. He who'd disobey a direct order. At least Rivales only ever turned on those who'd already undermined him. Mendiaz saved his life, yes, but then made the choice to try and take it back. A man without honor. He deserves everything that has and will come to him.
Do you admit that you are Carlo Luciano?
Must I? No, I do not. I fail to see how that would help my position. I think you'll find myself even less cooperative than our friend here. This pursuit was amusing at first, but I do have my limits. I was in on the plot to fake his death, but to be Luciano myself? Inconceivable.
You've directly admitted yourself as an accomplice in MN6. That alone places suspicion on you for the 3 murders. We have no alibi on you for any of them, and now we have a strong motive.
Ah, my dear prosecutor, how mistaken you are. I am not sure if you realize it quite yet, but I am still far from appearing the guilty party. Please step back and take a moment to reanalyze your situation. Face it, sir. If you had even a single iota of proof, you would have shown it long ago. And if you hope to catch me in some unfortunate slip-up, you will be sorely disappointed.
Ugh. Do we have anything?
I don't know. There must be something.
I would think not. Though to be quite fair, if we to assume I were Luciano, I would have had to thank you for all doing me a great favor.
Huh?
What do you mean?
Please, sir, do not make me spell it out for you. If my big overarching plan was to bring down Mendiaz, you've done that for me by associating him with Sir Galante.
Ugh. It was a trap and I walked right into it.
So you see, sir, no matter what else, Mendiaz will have nowhere to go from here. On the one hand, he could be executed for triple homicide. On the other, his cohorts will hunt him down like the fiend he is. As for me, well, you've proven a motive, I suppose. I'm sure that counts for something.
Don't give up. You know, nobody saw any of the 3 murders. That means if he can't prove an alibi, it might be him.
Not good enough. There must be an implication of someone other than Mendiaz.
The first day during Miss Porter's testimony, she claimed she'd heard a strange noise. She turned to check, she didn't see anyone. But she found Jimmy dead after returning from the chase.
I'd presume you would expect this noise was me? I am glad that I am not the one who needs your defending. What of the shovel then? The one with the defendant's prints on it? He was the last one to hold it, as you well know. So explain to me, please, how that implies anyone other than him.
I might not have an answer for that. Mandira is really the only one who could have used the shovel. It had his prints, and no one else's.
No, that's wrong.
Huh? Hey, wait. Doesn't that sound familiar? Come to think of it, yeah. The killer is no one. He is everyone and no one. The killer is no one.
Oh my god. Stop. No. Stop it. Stop. No. No. That's a different game.
I couldn't resist. So that's what the evidence was about. That's why it was important. Mendiras found the shovel upon returning and tried to hide it back in his home. I can't give you any more than his word on that, and I agree it's a point against me. But he's not the only one with evidence stacked against him. There is evidence pointing to Luciano as the culprit. If the shovel says Mendires, there's something else that says Luciano. Only he had a true motive and opportunity to kill all 3 victims.
Okay, now this one kind of confuses me a little bit.
What was his motive?
Well, he wanted to get the bottle back.
All right, let's try that.
Take that!
Maybe it's the bottle itself.
Take that!
Yeah, it's the bottle itself.
There you go. The forged bottle that Kristoff used to win MN6 was the catalyst. Both Jimmy and Miss Porter were hunted down for it.
Yes, a motive for Luciano, no doubt. But your client would have one too. He'd need that bottle to cover up for his treachery.
There's something special about this, which I hadn't considered before. It's the reason why Luciano needed to recover it. It would have ruined everything for his plans.
The bottle caused me to lose the case, but surely you had something else in mind. Tell the court what you mean by this.
I mean, Luciano holding it isn't an issue because the man doesn't have fingerprints. So it wouldn't matter if he held it or not. It being forged, I don't see what that would do. Pearl holding it? I don't really know what that would do. It being genuine? I don't think it was genuine for a second. I'll try it was forged.
The bottle was forged. That's how the defense managed to win the case.
What would that matter to Luciano? He was not the one on trial for murder. The forgery would not prove that he was still alive.
That is correct. Mr. Wright, please rethink your stance on this matter. Okay. I'll rethink it. Maybe Luciano did hold it.
There was one point in the case that was brushed over in the trial. Salim Kushari claimed he saw Luciano handle the bottle of poison. I
Okay,
do not remember when this was said.
I also don't remember that.
Damn.
A rookie mistake if I ever heard one. You should know that Mr. Kashai had been accused of murder. Would he not lie?
Except Mr. Kushari wouldn't have had any reason to declare this. Saying he never held the bottle is one thing, but to claim that Luciano did? Especially since Luciano was presumed dead by everyone, he'd have no reason to say otherwise.
The evidence was on the defense's side. Think back and recall that Luciano's prints were not on the bottle in question.
Ugh, they weren't. But then why?
Well, this sad farce has grown boring. I have no interest in playing along any further. There simply is no way that you can possibly prove I murdered anyone.
Oh! Oh boy!
You are entirely incapable of connecting me to these crimes.
But the bottle, what was it for?
His final form is revealed.
Oh boy,
There must be some... Uh-huh. There must be something we're overlooking.
You are so amusing. I must commend you for your perseverance. And yet you've come to the end of the line here. You really mustn't go any further. I've won, ladies and gentlemen. No matter what else, I have won. And to see the realization in your faces, why, it's eye-opening.
Ugh. You and your jokes are
Oh my god.
headed straight for the loony bin.
If indeed Luciano is alive and well, how do you intend to implicate him as the culprit? They burnt the body, I promise you, and with it all evidence linking to the present. This eye, a nasty souvenir given to me by Mendias, it means nothing. And aside from that, you have no more than trivialities in the word of a madman. You will need more than that to say I am Carlo Luciano. Now that I think about it, there is indeed a startling lack of evidence. The defense and prosecution both seem convinced of the witness's guilt, and yet I can't bring myself to fully accept this accusation. Give them credit, sir. They've woven a beautifully intricate fable. But you will realize that this is ultimately all it is. Decisive proof of Luciano's presence at one or more crime scenes must be given. If that is not possible, we will have to retract the accusation.
So close. So close. What am I missing? How can I link Luciano to Jimmy, Porter, or Mr. Black? Is it possible for somebody to commit 3 murders without leaving a trace? Luciano would want to get the bottle back from Jimmy. He has the right motive and knowledge to commit murder.
Ah, yes, but that's not quite enough, is it? Even if you are able to prove I am Luciano, you still cannot prove Luciano killed anyone. You need actual physical proof, not just theorization and backstory.
Is there nothing that the defense can think of?
Also, dig this final cross-examination music.
Oh,
There
my
has to
God.
be.
Oh, it's so funky.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa! Has the original cross-examination theme in there.
That's right.
You must find a way to directly connect Carlo Luciano to any one of the 3 murders. If you do not, then this will all have been a wasted effort.
Won't let that happen. I have to nail this guy down. This might be the final push. It's now or never. Why was Luciano cremated?
Well, you see, no known relatives or peers. There was nobody to claim him. There's much less stress on the state to simply dispose of the specimen. I saw to the disposal myself. There are clear records of it.
That means we could never exhume him to check.
Yes, a true pity for you, it seems.
I saw the corpse myself. I remember it well. The police department had the body from MN6. It was burnt, there is no doubt.
A body! Do not dance around who we know it was, sir.
It wasn't Luciano. It was his body double. And if the body's gone, I could never show it. He definitely anticipated that.
This man... What a plan he's had. This guy's smart.
And without as many resources as Hemlock.
God damn.
It's too ironic for me that you'd have the same unique feature of a man you autopsied.
Yes, irony was Mendez's goal, you see. He knew that I would always wake up to see this in the mirror. That I would never forget when I saw it. That was how he ensured I would forever remain silent.
There must be another way to prove it. I was sure the eye would help. Not gonna help us nail this crime to him. There should be some substantial evidence in our court record that proves he's the killer.
Oh wait, no, I already said that.
It's okay, Trucy, you got the ball rolling.
Yep.
There's plenty of reason to suspect Luciano.
Not particularly. If everything pointed to him, there are 5 things pointing to Mendez. And that's not even speaking about myself. If I were to walk out that door right now, where would you be left? Facing a sure guilty sentence for your client, that is where. I only stuck around for so long because I thought you might provide me with a challenge. But so far you've only let me down.
I can't wait to wipe that smug grin off your face. How do I prove that Luciano is the villain? How does that bottle connect to it?
Oh my god, this music is incredible.
It sure is. I am going to prove it was you. You faked your death and then murdered 3 people. The truth will find you out. Just wait.
3? Just 3? If you're right, I'm guilty of far worse than that. After all, aren't I your infamous assassin, right hand of a crime lord? How many people do you think Luciano has killed over the years?
Too many.
And you think I would be afraid of you? You have nothing to throw at me, sir. Nothing. And when it is all over, I am the one who will be laughing.
Trying to corner him, but he ended up doing it to me. Is there any way to prove that Drazen is Luciano? What unanswered questions do we have left? That might help me solve this. Okay, that's all of them. All right,
Okay.
I'm gonna step back and let you think.
Alright.
How do we explain this? No, not that. This. No fingerprints,
What
and
about
the killer wasn't wearing gloves. How do we explain this? We can't explain it. No fingerprints?
That's what.
How?
That's one of the unanswered questions.
Maybe not there.
Ah, damn it.
If indeed Luciano is, how do you intend to implicate him as the culprit? That's one thing. Oh god damn it! Another super objection. Okay, but I know there's more.
It's the final battle. Why
Yep.
we gotta have one more of these.
What can really nail it in that this guy is our killer? I should show something more to really stamp down this contradiction. Fuck. Okay.
It's okay. The answer is not is you can do it.
The bug talks about the guy looking for the bottle. Okay. I want.
At least the game's nice enough to tell you
Yes.
the instant you screw up.
I just want to know if these have to be in a certain order. Like maybe this is the last piece of evidence I have to present. I'm worried that
I don't believe so.
Okay, so muddy, unidentified fingerprints.
Yep.
Okay, even more.
What do the shovel and Porter's crime scene have in common?
They're unidentifiable.
Do we have anything else like that?
This has Jane's fingerprints, but it doesn't talk about any other prints on it, so I don't think that matters. Luciano holding the bottle, we talked about that. And they couldn't find his fingerprints on it because he doesn't have fingerprints. That's why we couldn't find it.
right.
He did hold it. What?
What?
What the hell?
Damn it! Oh, I thought that was it. Let me check the video I'm watching.
Maybe it's... I mean, Porter's confession says that didn't actually see the killing blow. Let me try that.
Okay, I get it. Yeah.
Okay, now I'm gonna start from here. Just so I'm on the right track. Okay, shovel.
Double is good.
Okay. No. Uh... Uh...
I'm here if you need me.
Even though the knife doesn't mention any prints, it could still implicate him, maybe, because it doesn't have any prints on it. I'll try it. Got it!
It said in both Black's and Porter's autopsies reports that they were stabbed.
So I could have presented the autopsy reports alongside the
No,
knife,
I
or
think
just
you
the
had to
knife?
I think you had to present the knife.
Oh, okay. Well, hey, I got it.
You did.
Hell
There
yeah.
have been many oddities in this case. There's been a lack of conclusive evidence pointing away from Mendires. While that may seem like it points to him, the truth is more complex. Mendires' supposed motive would be unclear and at times contradictory. The story fits together much better if we assume there was another person. But of course, the evidence to prove this person's existence didn't exist. And that was because there was no evidence to leave. Carlo Luciano didn't have any fingerprints! Luciano did hold the fake vial, but when he did so, he didn't leave any marks of his own. And so, when the bottle was analyzed, only Kushari's prints were found.
Then what of the present day? We must have some way to link him now.
Just getting there. There are actually quite a few points for me to bring up. Each of the 2 murder weapons either has unidentifiable handprints, or we know was handled by somebody other than the initial suspect. The shovel has strange marks from when it was used to strangle Mr. Black. Jane Hood was given the knife by a man she thought was the killer. Miss Porter's whole office was covered in an oily residue from a person's hands, but not a single print to speak of. No gloves were used, but the killer didn't leave their fingerprints.
It seems to me the easiest crime to nail him to is Miss Porter's. Luckily for us, you very beautifully proved that we only need to prove one crime. The same culprit committed all 3.
That's right. Carlo Luciano is a man with motive and opportunity to kill. And by connecting the dots, we can see just why there was no evidence.
You nincompoops can blame Luciano all you like, but you'll never prove that I am he. Never! Don't be so sure of yourself. All that's necessary is to determine that you 2 lack prints. Eh? Well, you won't. I deny the court permission to test me. You'd need probable cause, and all you have is some wild guessing.
Wrong. We have everything we need to right here, right now and here.
You and I both know the answer, so I'll give the pleasures to the defense. Inform the court how can we prove that Dr. Morton Drazen lacks prints.
Oh boy. Okay. Oh my god, the drums.
Indeed.
I'm gonna be honest, I'm lost.
Shall I give you a hint?
I would like that, yes.
All we need is something that... Actually, this is probably going to give it away.
Don't tell me then.
Yeah.
He
Let me
wrote the
try to be more
autopsies.
vague.
He wrote the autopsies. We
There
can
you
look-
go. All
we
we
can
need. All
we
we
can-
all we need is something that he handled.
we can look at one of his autopsies and see if he has any prints on it, because he handed it to us.
Yep. As the police coroner assigned to this investigation, you've handled each of the reports. At least one of these autopsies you handed directly to me. And that, sir, means that if you're who you say you are, they should have your fingerprints!
And of course, if they don't, what conclusion must we come to? A one-eyed man who also lacks fingerprints? How many could there be?
In a sense, your lack of prints would be just as convincing as if you'd left them. That is how we will connect you to your crime of the past to the present. That's why you needed to get the bottle back. It was physical proof of your survival. Proof of a cover-up of MN6. Proof of a forgery. Proof of your whole scheme. That's why you tried to stop Pearl from ever coming back. She knew the truth. And when Maya tried to expose the proof to the world, you tried to have her killed.
5 years of hunting Mendirs, but we've found the true villain. And your plan to throw it all on your former partner has been for naught. It was you all along! This trail of bodies has somebody to answer for it!
Face it, you're done for! A bottle is why Jimmy, Miss Porter, and even Mr. Black all had to die. It links them all to Mendiras and Mendiras to you. So it's a good thing you never got your hands on it. Because these are 3 deaths you're not getting away with!
It appears you've backed me into a corner. Unless... No, wait, I must be mistaken. Are you really trying to use lack of proof as proof?
Shoot. I was on such a roll there.
If it must be said, yes, I lack fingerprints. The reason for that being that years of exposure to forensic chemicals eroded them away. That's my explanation, and I'm sticking to it. No,
Bruh, you'd be wearing gloves while handling forensic chemicals. Get out of here.
To truly accuse me, you'd need to place me at a crime scene. Fingerprints or not, you have no way of doing that.
Jane Hood met with you twice. She knows who you are.
Does she now? That young lady would be able to identify me, you say?
The man she met, her to kill her, he gave her the knife. She saw him after the murders of both Miss Porter and Mr. Black.
Yes, and I would fit a description of this man. Remember, Miss Hood never saw her to killer's face. He kept it hidden. She would not be able to accuse the witness.
I'd forgotten about that. The motive and lack of prints won't work if we can't prove he was there. Nobody saw him kill Jimmy or Miss Porter. He never saw Luciano's face when he buried Mr. Black. How can we prove it? We need a reliable witness. But who could have seen Drazen during a murder?
I got it.
I know there were others. Do you know where this is going?
Maybe. We'll see.
He's an assassin. These weren't the only people he killed. But who?
Got it.
These weren't his only victims. It's time to avenge.
Yes.
It's time to avenge our boy.
Who are you referring to specifically?
Cody Hackins, Your Honor. Cody was murdered by none other than Dr. Morton Drazen.
And what makes you say that?
Because I was there. I can't prove you killed the 3 people in this case. But you were one of only a handful of people in the room at the time. You'd just come from the records room where the body was found.
And this is where I caught him at first. Isn't it ironic this is the last thing we're bringing up?
Ha. You saw this coming way back.
Damn.
Togamera denied shooting Cody, and now the police might actually believe him.
Let's trust the convicted murderer, why don't we? It's not only Medeiros you put faith in, but Togamera too.
The fact you found the body should have made you a possible suspect in the police's eyes. You should have been precluded from ever doing the autopsy. But since Togamera was the obvious guilty party at the time, you got away with it. And that let you leave out any crucial details that might point back to you.
Did I? And what do you suggest that was? Here's Mr. Hackins' report from the file. Let's compare it to what else Drazen wrote.
Now that I look at it again, it seems to me Cody's report is leaving out some important information.
I'm gonna make a save here.
Don't let me stop you. Show on the other pages what he has left out.
What?
So,
What the hell am I
at
looking
the other
at?
autopsy.
No time of death.
the time of death.
Every
And it's
single
there
one of them.
too.
Every single one
Yep.
of them. Where do I say that though?
Let me check. Let me check here. Say. Ah, dang it.
I think I know what to do.
Okay.
Show on the other
Yeah,
pages.
show on the other pages. There
I
we
just
go.
choose one of them.
There we go. In every other one of your reports, you leave a time of death. On some of them, it is almost eerily specific. But in Cody's report, for some reason, you left off the TOD. There's no mention of it at all, which is odd considering.
Oh my! Well, it must have slipped my mind.
He'd just been killed recently, so this should have been the easiest of all to pinpoint at the time. You've boasted about how great you are as a coroner, so why would you just forget that? But what's more, you make a very clear point of bullets landing in the bookshelf. But why the bookshelf? Why mention that and not the much more necessary hour of death? It was because of your autopsy that we arrested Togamera. And that fits right with the rest of our story. You doctored the autopsy so that it would point to Togamera and not you. You needed to keep the people from knowing that you were the last one to see him alive!
Gross negligence indeed, or worse. What do you recommend we do? If new information has come to light, we can reopen the investigation. We can even hold him as the lead suspect.
This man murdered Cody. He did it in order to frame Togamera so that he would turn on Menderes. I'd bet my life on it.
Bailiff, place the witness in custody. He is under arrest for the murder of Mr. Cody Hackins. He is to be held pending further investigation of the records room murder. In addition, Miss Gladys Porter was only killed the other afternoon. I believe that leaves us ample time to search for traces of you, Mr. Luciano. You had best believe that I will not let you out of my sight from now on.
It's gone really well, me voicing Phoenix and you voicing Luciano. I want to have one breakdown that doesn't get lost to the stupidity of Discord and its noise settings. So I ask you to let me do a breakdown one more time, even though you wanted to voice the final villain.
You know, I've had fun voicing Luciano for this past little bit. I'm gonna let you have this breakdown. Have fun.
All right, thanks. Well, that's quite a pickle you've got me in. I'm afraid that doesn't sound good for me at all, does it? After all this ruckus, it really was enough to raise the dead!
Fuck you.
Do you intend to point me into submission?
Bro, my hands are shaking. Jesus Christ, dude. That was so good. Oh my, no, I like my hands are physically shaking right now.
Thanks.
Hold on. Don't do anything crazy.
Oh, my dear friend, I did not survive this long in my profession by being a pushover. There are so many little tricks I could show you right now. I hope you weren't expecting me to come quietly.
Bailiff, restrain him immediately. Do not let him step away from that stand. I'm on it, boss.
No, Waters. Waters, he said the bailiff, not you.
Game, why are you having Waters do this?
This psychopath murdered my wife. He murdered her sister. And that kid in Jameson and Black and all of them. He's not going anywhere.
Your wife? Well, isn't that a development? A match made in heaven?
Luciano, go fuck yourself.
Don't you dare talk about her.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did you just love her to death?
Hey, I mean it.
Waters, don't listen to him. He's just trying to provoke you.
I know what I'm doing, man. Just let me get some closure on this.
Oh, shit.
Mr. Waters, look out!
Oh! Oh my god! Help! Get him off of me!
Oh no, I would advise against that! Now, I don't imagine I have to make my position clear. But just in case, please draw your attention to where this firearm is pointed.
How the fuck did he even get that in here?
I mean, Togamero was able to bring his gun in, and Virgil Black was able to bring a sword in.
You know, you got a point.
I don't even question it. A point-blank gunshot to the temple rarely does the human cranium much good, I'm afraid. If you're good, I'll consider letting him go. But really, to me, it's all the same. So I shall leave it up to you whether or not he dies here in front of you all. The detective and I are going to be leaving. It would be quite unfortunate for him if anybody chose to follow us.
Don't anybody move!
Somebody! Do something!
Don't make any sudden movements. I don't want Mr. Waters added to our list of casualties.
A smart man! You'll know now that I've won. I won long ago the moment Mendir has turned on me. Nobody betrays me and lives to tell about it. Now he's ruined! But before I do leave...
Oh, shit.
Mr. Wright, a parting gift! You must be getting rusty, Luciano, to miss him by such a wide mark.
Oh. Hell yeah, dude.
Let go! No, don't think I will. I don't take orders from you. I'm the Don Luciano, not you. You're a traitor to me and the whole family.
What a fucking badass.
I only did what you would have. You helped me go behind Michael's back to kill the Cadaverinis. And while I'm the Don, you've been working behind my back, blackmailing me. I could never trust you out there. I knew you'd come back for me.
Mr. Mendiras, he's finished. Now hand him over to the police.
Luciano's not done as long as he's got a breath in him. He'll always be after me.
We can still help you. That's what Jimmy wanted to do, wasn't it? Mendiras.
Don't bother, right? This man's too far gone to listen to you. Maybe I am.
Ooh! Right to the
But he's
noggin.
kept with me this far. This is his win, not mine.
All right, now everybody in the courtroom, dogpile him. Beat the shit out of him.
Done.
Carlo Luciano has been placed in police custody, thank God. And now I believe it is finally time to announce the jury's findings. Yay!
The prosecution is ready to hear them.
What's this? Miss Von Kummer, why are you back?
Obadiah Williamson has stepped out. He couldn't be bothered to return.
Oh, I would have thought he'd want to hear the verdict. Is he okay?
I am not his keeper. He was in good health, no less. I will see the trial through to the end. Besides, on behalf of Interpol, I have a few words I'd like to say. Dealing with our friend, the defendant here.
Am I going to want to hear it?
You may. You may be innocent on the charge of murder, but we still have enough to arrest you. You are undoubtedly guilty of conspiracy on a massive scale. You are going to jail.
Fair enough.
Yet you have more value to me than just a prisoner. As I gleaned on, you know valuable information about the rest of the Rivales family. We are prepared to make a deal.
The kind where I get out early?
That will depend on how much you tell us.
You have my interests. I'll think about it.
Oh, don't look so glum, Mr. Phoenix White. It's much more important to us that we eradicate the organized crime than to just get one man. He's clearly a terrible leader anyhow. They'd never follow him after this.
Luciano was working against me ever since I took over. Never had a chance. But I'll be a lot safer knowing Interpol's after the lot of them. Heck, why not? They can't do me any worse than Luciano would have.
It's settled then. I look forward to working with you, Mr. Mendez.
Eh. Do I have time to thank my lawyer before you drag me out?
Oh.
Thank you, I suppose. Go ahead.
I'm not really one for saying this. Look, I've been a royal pain the whole way. I should have just told you what I knew from the beginning. I've just been so damn paranoid I couldn't bring myself to do it. For some reason, you never gave up. I know you'll still hate me forever, but...
You're welcome.
I'm talking too much. Let's get it over with.
Bro, everybody in this game is a tsundere. Everybody. That sounds fine with me. We've come to
the magic of Phoenix.
The magic of
Everyone
Phoenix.
comes to love him.
We've come to the end of our trial. The jurors have delivered their ruling. On the charge of murder, I find the defendant Francisco Mendez not guilty.
We did it! Oh my god!
Hell yeah!
Woo!
Court is adjourned.
Ah. Carlo Luciano. Does he measure up well to Lyle Hemlock, or what?
Yes, absolutely. The crazy doctor. The good doctor.
Yeah! We did it! Woohoo! Go Dad!
All in a day's work. Days, weeks, months. You can take Francisca. Oh wait, no. You're already doing two voices. I'll take Francisca, sorry.
Thanks.
You're being modest. Solving 4 murders is nothing to seize at. You've earned your pay for once.
For once, Franzi?
I'm giving you a compliment. Don't try your luck.
Heh, I'm just doing out what I was meant to do. We stopped an innocent man from being convicted of murder.
Innocent, very loosely speaking.
We didn't kill those people. Not Luciano, not Mr. Black or Miss Porter. And not Jimmy. We got who did. That was the truth he wanted us to find, the mystery to solve.
I think he'd be very happy with the work you did. I know I am. You really made it through in the end.
I wouldn't have made it this far without you, kid.
You got that right, old man. Without me, you'd still be on the office couch sobbing like a baby.
Oh my god. I never did that.
It's okay. I'll keep it our little secret.
Ours in the room full of other people you just told.
I'm glad you kept at it until the end. Mr. Menderes isn't the only one you managed to save. If you hadn't, who knows what would have become of me or Pearl. Are you gonna be alright about her?
Better with you two around. It just doesn't feel right, like it's still unresolved.
It doesn't always work that way. There's so many things I wish I could ask my birth father.
Yes, I know. I would have liked for her to have been here. She could have used the closure.
We're not forgetting Pearl, Nick. Not now, not ever. Have you ever known me to be one to give up?
No.
We know where she is. It's not where I'd like her to be, but we found her.
She might not want to talk to us.
No, she might not. But she's an adult now. She can choose that if it's what she wants. The most we can do is let her know we're here and hope she comes back.
You're taking this better than I thought you would.
I need to be strong, Nick, for the people I love.
Thank you, Maya.
We can still make amends. It's not the same as it was before.
I have faith we'll be together again, someday.
And I'll be there to see it with you. I think this is Waters.
Hey, what'd I miss? You guys better not be planning anything without me.
Wouldn't dream of it. You're part of the team.
Hey! Aren't you hurt? Didn't you get stabbed?
Nah, no sweat. It was just a flesh wound.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
One last Monty reference.
Bro, me and Net were talking about this earlier.
I swear, the knife just barely grazed my knee.
Oh.
Oh my god.
And he collapses.
I'm okay. Just somebody help me up.
Regardless, I think we should get you to a hospital.
Fine. You guys have your celebration without me.
Nonsense. We'll get takeout. I hear Dr. Aldoon still runs a little side business.
Have it without you? Mr. Waters, you're crazy. We'll all go to the hospital with you and celebrate there.
Oh, shucks. You're too good to me.
We'll help you there. Daddy, you and Miss Von Karma can get those noodles.
Actually, you go on ahead. I'll catch up.
Where do you think you're going?
There's somebody I need to find. I'll meet up with you later.
You know who that someone is?
Probably Pearl.
That would take a drive to the detention center. This
Probably
person's
Williamson.
closer.
Probably Williamson.
Yep. Okay, we'll be at the clinic waiting for you.
Don't take too long, man.
And don't forget the noodles. I'm starving. And I'm gonna have something to eat when this is all over.
Yep, same. He probably hasn't left the courthouse yet. I hope I can catch him before he does.
Let me know if you want me to take Phoenix here.
I would like you to take Phoenix.
All right. There he is. What's he doing all alone? Williamson, we were looking for you.
What for?
We're going out to celebrate. Want to come?
I shouldn't. I have other business.
Why not? The big case is over. You helped just as much as the rest of us.
You don't realize what I nearly did.
Nearly?
Here,
What is this?
read it.
This is... Wait, this is a conversation between Menderes and another assassin? This would have proved...
That conversation never happened.
You didn't!
Yes and no. I never presented it to the court.
After the hell you put me through? You! Of all people! You forged this!
I did. Yesterday, when I asked you to throw the case, I had that prepared as a backup plan. I wanted so much to see Mr. Jameson's killer put away forever. But then I realized it would have spat on everything he'd worked for. I'm a disgrace, Mr. Wright. I'm a filthy liar and the biggest hypocrite who ever lived.
Wow. Could you have ever imagined throughout, like, the first 4 cases that he would have ever said that?
No. Definitely not.
He's had a heel realization. He saw that he turned into the very thing he'd hated. We would have worked it all out if you just trusted me from the beginning.
If only. You must understand that I can never trust myself as a prosecutor again. An entire career built on trying to protect the truth and seek justice. 35 years, and I destroyed it all in one day.
But you didn't.
I would have if you hadn't convinced me to do otherwise. There's nothing more for me in this line of work. Once Luciano's trial is over, I plan to turn in my badge. I don't deserve it. I never thought I would see myself to drop to such lows.
You didn't go as far as you might have. There was a moment a few days ago where I considered lying to cover for Pearl. That was your test, after all. You just made it through your own test.
I never realized I was being tested.
Neither did I. Do we ever, really?
No, I suppose not. Be that as it may, I think it is best I remove myself from the bench.
Well, that's your choice.
Mr. Wright, I'm afraid I'll have to turn down your offer to join you tonight. But thank you for everything.
Not at all. Maybe some other time.
I'm going to miss this job. It's what I was made for. At least I can see the new generation is in good hands. I know you'll do them well.
I do my best.
Mr. Wright, if it's not too much to ask, this may be my last week as a prosecutor. I was hoping that, just one last time...
We're gonna scream objection together.
Yep. It's okay. I understand. Ready? Together, okay? You do the countdown.
Yes.
Yes. Objection!
Objection!
Hell yeah!
And that's that.
Oh my god, it's over.
4 hours, but we did it.
It's over. What?
So we won and all, but that knife basically took me out of action. Sorry to say, but I'm officially a casualty of war. They got me on desk duty for a real long time while I heal. But at least I get to tell the story to all the new rookies. Yeah, I used to be a hotshot detective like you, but then I took a knife to the...
Detective, we're supposed to be working on your physical therapy. You know I said that I want you in the field again by next week.
Okay, so maybe it wasn't that bad. But it did sound pretty awesome when I said it, right?
Waters.
I used to be a detective like you, and then I took an arrow to the knee.
God damn it. Of course. The voice of Jimmy. Omega Vitamin
Wow.
C.
Life would be mighty quiet around here now with us the only two here. It was a right interesting few days while it lasted, can't deny that. Jane said she wanted me to take up being a lawyer again, but I had to turn her down. I'd rather not have all the attention on us 24/7. Mind games can be fun, but I prefer the kind that doesn't make me a target. I do still have quite a few secrets left that no one should know. Or do I?
Oh, you god damn it.
I can tell you about the scene that was cut of him later on if you want.
You can say it at the end of the video once the credits roll.
Alright. Major pyrite patches.
Still quite a few bugs in it, but aren't there all?
We got through it. We fixed him. We soldiered through it.
Oh god.
People ask me if I ever thank Mr. Wright, and I have to say, why should I? He would have to come after me if I didn't maneuver him to standing up for me. Literally, all the credit should go to me. Thank you, me. You did well. I will be boring around from now on with nobody to play with. It was a fun toy for a while. But I do graduate in just a year, so there is time to consider that. Yes, I think I will consider that.
Okay, Stitch. Alright. Still don't like you.
Nope. Flattest character.
Mercurial SK. Good job on those sprites for Francisco Menderes. They look awesome.
Exactly.
Same with you,
Great
Histo.
design. The updated ones.
Case closed, looks like. I knew Mr. Wright could do it. It'll be nice having him back with us from now on. There really is this crazy thing how everybody seems to get back together when he's around. Yo! Oh! Yipe!
We found Stephen Jamison's killer. Interpol will be pleased to have results. Colonel Luciano will be in the custody. The reverse family is finished. That was the end that we needed. The Phoenix White helped it be that way.
Me too, sir.
Yes, and you too.
Aw, she's not denying it. That's nice. Yeah, she said Carlo Luciano will be in the custody of the International Police forever.
I could not keep up with it, sadly. Trying to do the accent.
It's okay. It's alright, I understand.
Pearl
the
sprites.
Pearl
Good
sprites.
job, NER.
Mm-hmm.
Good job, everybody who
Back-
worked on this game.
Indeed.
Christoph Gavin sprites. Oh my god. Voice of Finnegan Hood.
Nice.
His voice sounds so intimidating.
Mm-hmm.
Rina-chan.
Made her sound very cute. Wow, I'm not even sure where the agency will head from here. Think of the possibilities. I bet there are lots of young aspiring attorneys out there looking for work.
One who wears a yellow suit.
I'll tell Dad to keep out for someone. Maybe get a woman in here so I'm not alone. I can tell that I still have a lot of training to do to be a proper leader. Did you know there's a kingdom of Karain? Maybe I should head there to find out more about my roots.
And he
yeah,
even-
Maya.
and he even
head
set
to
up.
Yeah, great. Head to a country that has no lawyers.
Yep.
In a franchise where you always get accused of murder. Great idea.
Well, she couldn't have known that.
Yeah, you're right.
You right. The doctor. The doctor.
And yeah, if it wasn't for what happened with Pearl, my appeal sentence was decided. They say I will be freed. They
Yes!
proved that I did not murder the assassin because he was not dead. I owe everything to that brave man and his friends. Thank you to everyone. You may come to my diner always, and you will receive any meal for free. Stop by any time. It will really spice up my day.
Oh my god, I love this guy.
Dan,
I love this guy.
you
I
are
love him. He's a light. He's a bright
so
light.
happy. He's so happy for being wrongfully imprisoned for 5 years. Man,
Yeah,
that would
dude.
break me. There's Finnegan's Hood's theme.
That man has a heart of gold.
So yeah, if it weren't for what happened with Pearl, this could segue nicely into Dual Destinies.
Yeah. This guy really thought up everything, didn't he?
He did. Not only did he build up an amazing case, an amazing conspiracy, but he gave a
My
whoops.
days as a prosecutor are over. You can say, in the end, perhaps this is for the better. You can say it after I'm done. I've lived for prosecuting until now. Especially in these recent years, it was my singular obsession. It may be time to find a new passion. I will continue my pursuit for the truth in a new way. Learn from my mistakes of the past. And should Phoenix Wright ever need an ally, I will be there waiting for his call.
Beautiful.
Oh, my heart.
Not only did Ropfa write an amazing conspiracy, an amazing story, but he provided amazing reasons for the existing characters to be emotionally affected by it.
I guess what we could say is that Pearl got through her issues and became happy by the time Dual Destinies came around. I guess that's what we could say.
We could hope for that.
But you don't just get through that. It would take years, possibly decades to
Yep.
get over something like that.
Exactly. You're welcome for playing it. Thank you for making
you're
it.
fucking welcome. God damn.
It was a pleasure.
End credit
You
scene.
knew there had to be a post-credit scene.
I fucking knew it.
Take as much time as you like, ma'am. I'll be waiting right outside. Thank you. We might be a while. No kidding. There's a lot to talk about. You don't have to stand so far. Oh wait, no. You don't have to. You don't have to stand so far over by the wall.
Oh.
Hey, Pearl.
Right. I'm gonna assume this is Maya talking.
Can you ever forgive me? Do you forgive me? Is that even possible? I don't know why you're asking me that. There's a lot of things I did poorly. And maybe that's why some things happened the way they did. I can be a real idiot sometimes, I know that. But I want you to know that everything I did was to protect you. And Nick, you should have seen him at the trial. He worked so hard to make sure that they can never threaten you again. We both did our best to keep you safe. That was all we wanted. Maybe that's not what you want anymore? If it's not, just say so and I'll leave. I need to fix my own life. And I'll let you do that. Now that I know the truth, I'll do whatever it takes to make you happy. Even if that means giving you up. I'm so sorry, Pearly. I didn't want any of this to turn out this way. Huh. I'll be going now. Wait! Please wait! I'm waiting. You can't protect me, not even from myself. I need to learn to do that on my own. But I could use some help. I love you, Pearly. You know you have it.
Oh my god. Okay.
And there you go.
Alright.
We
got some closure.
We won't ever get to see Pearl smile in this game, but that's because it would take, like you said, years to undo everything. But we're left with a glimmer of hope. The fact that Pearl does not want Maya to stay away from her anymore. One step in the right direction.
That was...
There you have it, Noah.
That was... incredible! That was incredible!
An emotional roller coaster.
Yes. I will say that I think I do still prefer Case 4 over this one. This one was really good, but I think Case 4 just really hit me in a way I wasn't expecting.
Oh yeah, like nothing could top that emotionally.
Yeah. I will say that What?
Go ahead.
I will say that I do think that I actually still do prefer Hemlock over Luciano, and that is primarily for the reason that we don't get to see much of Luciano before he reveals himself. I think that's actually my one little critique of the game, is that we don't get to see enough of Luciano before he turns evil.
Fair enough. It's legit. What you're saying is true.
But other than that, I really think that this game exceeded all and any expectations I could have had.
I'm so glad.
It's so fucking good. This guy is a really great writer. He inspires me.
I'm glad I could be there for it all.
Yeah. Well, thank you for joining me.
If you want, we can come back another time for a recording where we, I guess, give broader thoughts on the game, or we could just skip straight to talking about the other games, such as the Dual Destinies and Spirit of Justice.
Yes.
If you think that would be worthwhile, because I got plenty to say, and you've got plenty to say.
That would definitely be worthwhile. There's a lot I could say about how certain characters are treated in Dual Destinies and Spirit of Justice.
There's
a lot that I could say, and not all of them are good things.
Nope.
But what about that scene with Finnegan Hood? What happened during that?
Okay. What I'll do is I'll read it to you word for word.
Okay.
How it goes. Let's see. Just let me find a video for it.
Well, if you share your screen, we could act it out.
Oh, you're right. Okay, I'll do that. By the way, did you know that if you hold the mouse button down on a video, it goes at ×2 speed?
Yes. Hello?
Anyway.
Mind if I butt in a tad? I saw it was getting all sentimental. Feel bad about crashing your party. Came by to pick up me child and thought I'd stop by.
What do you need, Mr. Hood?
Need? Oh no, it's not what I need. Though I can understand why you'd feel that way. No, truth is I'm here for you, son.
I'm sure you are.
You told me earlier that you trusted me, despite everything we went through.
Oh.
I'm here to put me trust in you.
Maybe we would have gotten this scene if we said we trusted him. Why would you trust us?
I might need to. This man who isn't a killer is still running amok. If you can't get him, me and Jane are as good as goners.
Do you know who Jane saw?
Wish I did, truly. But I only ever saw him through the shadows of the woods. It would need to be someone with a way to get at both Miss Porter and Black.
A hint of sorts. But that could be anyone.
Maybe. But I think you'll find that your options are really rather limited.
How so?
It'd need to be someone with an invested interest in the Ravalis family. And somebody with a reason to go after Miss Porter.
Prosecutor Williamson thinks it was one of Mendira's henchmen.
Maybe. It might be so. Do you really think it?
No, not really.
Why not?
Just a gut feeling. It doesn't seem right.
If you believe it, I'd chase that thought. Hold tight to it. I guess either you or the prosecutor's right in the end.
50-50? Remember that?
Yes, sir. But I'll throw in with you, if you don't mind. I can't help you anymore. You know as much as there is to know from me.
So this is goodbye?
I'd imagine so, unless you've got some reason to have another look around me neck or the woods. You'd better head back in now. Can't waste too much time speaking to me.
So there you go. Oh, I'll get him. Yeah, so well, a nice last bit of closure for Finnegan Hood, which
Well, that's not
oh
really my
wait,
style.
he says this last thing that's kind of amusing and just
Yep,
very in
that's it.
character for him. He says, I'd say sorry for what I've put you through, but Well, that's not really my style.
Well, nice.
So-
I definitely assume that we probably would have gotten that scene if we said that we still trusted him. But how the fuck were we supposed to know that? And how the fuck were we supposed to say yes? We can't trust
How
this guy.
indeed.
We can't trust this guy.
Well, at least he genuinely cares about his daughter, even though
Yeah.
his daughter is paranoid to the point of dysfunctionality.
And that's his fault, by the way. That's his fault.
Yes, it is.
Well,
All right.
that's it for this one.
Thank you very much, Noah.
Yes,
It's
no
been
problem.
a pleasure doing this with you,
Uh-huh. Well,
and I look forward to our next project together.
next time will be I mean, I can't really make any promises, but it's going to be Stardew Valley, Beyond the Shadows, or the Dragon's Tournament. It's going to be one of those three that net shows up again.
Outside of our own discussions about the franchise.
Yes.
Of course.
Yes. Well,
Till next time, everybody.
you took my outro. Until next
Sorry.
time, we'll see you next time for whatever comes next.